Here. Oh, God, I need my glasses. Hey, guys. Everybody's here, I think. Um, Hey, Lauren. Happy Friday, guys. I am Reality of Krista Marie. It is Friday, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, I kind of forgot. I use my stuffed animals, my back pillow. Yeah. So I'm here doing the Who's Starting On podcast on the Reality of Krista Marie YouTube channel. And I go live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We talk about housewives, and I usually go live in the afternoon to do pop culture news. And today I'm only doing this show because I did some family stuff. That's what I was doing this whole week. That's why I wasn't around. But we're back today because I was dying. I wasn't even going to do a show today, and I was like, I don't know. I missed it. I'm telling you right now, I don't 2 days goes by. I know that I still love doing this. I'm still passionate about it because I do miss it. I really absolutely was jealous that I wasn't on yesterday or the day before. But yeah. So I would like to do an afternoon show, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know. My dad and my sister had her surgery. I don't know if you guys know about that, but just had leg surgery or ankle surgery. She had her whole leg rebroken basically. Anyway, so her surgery was yesterday, and then she lives with my dad, and they take care of each other. She takes care of him, blah blah blah. So somebody needs to take care of them. So, and Dad, if you just called, you know that I'm getting ready to go live. So I don't know why you thought I would be able to answer the phone. And if it's an emergency, just type me 911, and I'll get off this live. But I don't think it's an emergency. Just realize that I'm live, and hopefully my brother, your son, went and checked on you this morning. So, all right, well, so yeah, this is a good episode. I cried. I don't know why. I didn't know I was going to cry. So obviously, a lot of the stuff about Sutton was getting me upset. And I did my makeup, then I was crying it off just 15 minutes ago. I was like, Jesus Christ. There's certain things I know I shouldn't do before I go live when I'm doing my makeup. And some shows it's hard to watch. But anyway, so let me say hi to Erin. Hey, Erin D. Ever Smiling with Erin D's YouTube channel, please. Everybody, can you go subscribe to her, please? And let's try these glasses on. And Lauren, hey Lauren. And there's only 38 people are so far. TikTok's on, but it only says there's only 38 people. But yeah, we're live on Facebook. Oh God, did I turn Instagram on? Instagram. Hey Dustin over on Instagram. Hey Dustin, if you're over there, can you keep the chat going? I can't stand the fact that my sister brought this up the other day. I can't see everybody's. It's only Twitter and YouTube that shows up in the chat. But I mean, people can show up on the Facebook side and the TikTok side. But I wish I wonder if hey Kath, I wonder if Restream will let you because I signed up for Restream. I just gotta wait for my StreamYard to run out because I paid for it. But yeah, it's really annoying. I hate that. But yeah. All right. Hey Kath, did I just see you come in? Hey Kath. So yeah, I'm gonna do recap, and then I didn't even get a chance to watch the after show yet. So I have no idea what's going on with that, which will probably be good. So we'll do a little recap, and then we'll talk about it because it's such a good episode. I really want to talk about it. Kyle didn't get on my nerves, obviously, but it's just mostly the Sutton stuff that I really, really liked a lot. Hey Lauren, hey Kath, hey Dustin, everybody. And anybody that's watching, please hit the like button. Oh, sorry. And if you're listening on the Who's Starting On podcast side, the podcast is recorded live, okay, under the YouTube, on the YouTube channel, Jesus Christ, under the podcast tab that says Who's Starting On the spot, Krista, fucking get it together. The podcast side, the platforms or podcast platforms, wherever you used to get your favorite podcast at, and you're just listening to this audio version, you can come watch the crazy live, which you could probably hear it, where I'm just talking to the live chat. So as much as these episodes are fun to do live and all that, I appreciate the people that listen over on podcast side, because they're probably half the time, what the fuck is going on? Who is she talking to? Why is she talking to herself? You know what I mean? I've tried to listen to it. It does sound pretty funny, but I got to put maybe a B-roll, pre-roll in there, and just say, hey, blah, 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 explain it. Because if it's sometimes the episodes, you guys, are 3-4 hours long. But I will upload all of it. And if you can use chapters. So if you guys are listening, you can use chapters. And I think it's called the transcript. I always say it wrong. That's the transcript. Timestamps. The timestamps. Can you guys hear me okay? And it actually basically goes through my entire live, and it tells you about every 5 minutes what I'm talking about. So you can skip ahead if it says I'm talking about personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not guys, friggin' Lively, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. I'm almost at 25,000 subscribers. And that's just literally probably the episodes I did about them, which was pop culture afternoon stuff. But yeah, I think that I never celebrate any of my subscribers, but I think 25,000 might be a good way to celebrate. So we'll see when I hit it, if I hit it anytime soon. I'm at 24.6, I think, so it's like 300 more. So a couple more days of this. It was like Scandival. Listen, my subscribers grew with Scandival, I think, was the first one. It might have been Jersey, and then Scandival. No, Depp Heard, then Scandival. And now this one. And it's like, there's been like literally I jumped from like 5 to 10, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy, right? And mostly the TikTok people too. Like, guys, I appreciate you guys. Because I also forgot to leave my my subscribe link on the TikTok side. You know what I mean? So a lot of them were like, it was like too much work for them, you know, there's you youngins to like go through a bunch of hoopla. So now when you go right to my channel, before you do anything on it, it asks you if you want to subscribe and all that, which is a good idea. I think actually, Aaron, all of us, there's something you can do with your URL. You add something at the end of it, and it literally asks every single person that hits your page before they do anything else to go any further, do you want to subscribe? It's free. And I think that's working too. All right. So I don't know if Mamir's here, but I know I definitely have a mod somewhere, right? If not, I'm going to read my notes, but I'm not going to read the live chat, because you know how distracted I get. So anybody that's listening or reading or in the live chat, can just keep the chat going, please? Nah. Yeah, can you, Dustin? That's what I was going to say. Can you manage that chat for me? Because I don't know where Mamir is, but because there's people growing as the time goes on, and I, you know how if I'm on the other side, if I'm reading my notes and then new people come in that I don't know, can you guys just, you know, as you guys know who's new, can you just say hi for me? Because, you know, anybody that subscribes, I like to acknowledge anyway. Also, I have a membership. I don't know if you guys know that. Me and my sister are the only members so far. So we can't really members only, really. We keep joking about it. I was like, Sean, you want to have members only? Because I've been over their house a lot. It is kind of funny. It's kind of funny that I'll make it 99 cents if you guys want. I think it's like the lowest I thought I could do it, but because I have some ideas, but I think it would be better just like for like members only type thing. And you know, all that stuff. Also, what else? Am I forgetting anything? Oh yeah, chat. What I'm saying. Cash App. My Cash App, I think, is linked right in the allegedly banner. If not, it's somewhere. Or Super Chats or whatever you want to support the channel. You know, because I have to pay for my husband puts me on a budget. So I never beg for money. I'm just kidding. It'd be nice if I made something. You know, I'm just saying. I'm not asking you guys for money. I'm just saying, like, I usually don't say any of this stuff. And then a lot of people do say that during their lives or their videos. So yeah. You'll never catch me being like, I'll never be able to be super professional, super streamlined, or maybe my ADHD isn't going to shine through. So again, anybody that's in the comment section, I don't live in my comment section. I'm just putting a statement out there. I'm well aware that I am not professional. I'm well aware that I curse a lot. I feel like I need to like literally like pin the comment and just make everybody aware that I know that already, and I work on it. So hey, Lady Virgo. So yeah, I am trying every day. We're getting there. Okay, so good episode, right? I thought, and I hope you guys watched it. Oh, somebody watched it. Such a good freaking episode. Oh, you guys know what? I didn't realize either I could make my fucking words bigger. How dumb. Like, how, you know, when there's things, like, the simplest things I could have done, like, you know, that could have helped my life. Made my life so much better. But anyway, yeah, anybody that's in the chat, any of the chats, that manage the chat for me. TikTok people, I apologize if you're coming in and out. I'm gonna get another device or Restream. I think will actually let us all be. Actually, I think Restream does let us all talk at the same time. But the only thing I'm having with Restream is I don't like the camera on it. What's the name? StreamYard, which I've been using since day one. Their camera, it's not. I have a webcam, but they have like a bunch of, I don't want to say filters, but you could tell the difference. There's like a smoothing filter. That's the only thing I like. It makes me look like my Botox is like touched up. You know what I'm saying? But okay. So this episode, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It feels like it should be over by now, but it's not. We're only on episode 11. I think we have 18. It was a really good episode. They're still in Georgia. Sutton, Garcelle, Kyle, and I think I'm forgetting somebody. But they're there because, which now I realize I didn't know why they were there. But Sutton just wanted to go back and go to her childhood home. She wanted to have a conversation with her mom. Her mom's getting up there in age. And her mom is just, her mom's name is Reba. She is, I don't know, her and Garcelle are just alike. They're exactly alike. So she feels like her mom has never said that she was proud of her and loved her. If you've watched the last couple episodes, she was talking about that. And she was a daddy's girl, and her dad had committed suicide, which is killing me. Oh, I should put a suicide banner. In 2002, and I didn't realize her parents were still together. Her mom's a therapist or social worker. I'm sorry. I kept thinking therapist, but she's not a therapist. So she's a social worker. But I was going to say her mom should, I feel like Sutton doesn't think her mom knows how to process feelings and stuff. But I was like, if she's a therapist, she definitely knows how to do that. But I just feel like, we'll get into what her mom says about it. But, anyway, so Sutton said she's always felt like her mom wasn't proud of her. She doesn't tell her she loves her. And, she wants to have a better relationship with her mom here on out because she is getting older. And she's already lost her father. Yeah. Why waste any more time? That, you know what? And that makes me mad because I watched the Wendy Williams thing. Side note, the Wendy Williams thing today, and how TMZ is trying to get her, free Wendy, which, yeah, absolutely. She sounds normal again. But a couple of weeks before that, her conservator told us that she was she was no longer able to speak. She was completely incoherent, blah, blah, blah. And she sounds completely normal. But she's lost the last 2 years with her dad who's passing. Her mom's already passed away. Her dad's getting there up in age. Her dad has now lost almost 2 years without Wendy. That's got to be taking years off that man's life. You know what I mean? So I get it. And I almost probably went the rest of my life not talking to one of my parents. And because of my own issues, the way I felt, obviously now this thing that's happened to my family has brought us all closer. And we've all been able to tell each other how we feel, even though we fuck each other up and down and we fight. I'm closer to them for some reason, but I would have probably went my whole life without speaking to them. And I'm just saying because the way I am, I'm like Sutton. I don't, once I'm done, I'm done. And I didn't want to be done. And it was but I knew that I'd regret it. And now I'm so glad that I didn't listen to myself. But anyway, just saying. So last time that we were with Dorit also, she had said that it was bad. PK was not being himself. He was threatening her with a divorce. And she didn't give in to his financial demands. And Sutton, and Erica they were sitting her at the table telling her, get a lawyer. He's trying to divorce you before the 10 years. They were saying, you don't know this man any longer. And Dorit was like, if I have to fight, I'll fight. If this is war, it's war. She's like, I don't know this man. And he didn't talk to her for weeks. He wasn't even talking to her when they were together. He does not love her. And I don't care. And I 1000%, if I'm not supposed to be jumping ahead in this episode, I believe that he's definitely playing her because she gets all, so this is happening last week. We're all like, fuck him. We got to get a lawyer. He's probably a cheater and he's definitely cheating. He's doing this, he's doing that. And he's trying to do all these shady things and, F him. And he's not there. The dude's not even there for his own kids, but I'm saying, why would he be there for her? Why would she trust anything he's doing? But anyway, he's kissing her ass because he knows that she will be not up his ass and bothering him and probably give him to some things. But, yeah, I don't trust him, but I don't know how she can. If he could do that shit to you while you're married, what do you think he's doing now? You know what I mean? If he could treat you like that. So she's anyway, she gets mad at them for bringing it back up to her. Well, she brings it up, but she reminding her that he's probably using her and what he just did to her. But anyway, so we start off back in Augusta, which again, I think Erica should be there, but she's not. Not that she's good friends with Sutton, but I think that Erica and her mom have some things that she should work out. Maybe that'll be next episode. Because her mom's the same way, I think. I think her and her mom in the same situation where they both are missing each other, their communication. So Avi's there, Kyle's there, Reba, the mom, and her mom's friend Jim. And it starts out with Avi telling the women that they're having brunch, but Reba, her mom is in the house with her, and he's like, would you like to go get changed? And Reba's like, what? What do you mean? I'm comfortable when I'm wearing. She's just, I don't know why Ivy even bothers to even say anything to this woman. He knows that she's not responsive, or I don't know why he would tell her to go get changed, whatever. I just thought that he would like to wear something different or something like that. And she's like, no, I'm good. But, she's just like, mind your business, basically. And she's like, something about being a Cancer. She's a, you know, I'm a Cancer. I'm not a nurturer, and I don't really know why she even said that out loud like that. But right as she said that, that's when Avi walked in and said about her going to get changed, and basically, I don't know, trying to shoo her out of the room. But you know, so Kyle and Sutton are going to get changed for, you know, for brunch. Kyle's like, yeah, guess what? Reba told me that she's not a nurturer. She said that to Sutton about, you know, and Sutton's like, really? My mom said something like that? And then Sutton's like, you know, when I was in my 20s, she learned, you know, that her father was suffering from depression, right? And he was hospitalized twice. So this is when they're all married, you know, married to the mom, obviously. He was hospitalized twice for it, taking antidepressants and sleeping medications, and he was a self-medicator. Same as me. I totally get that. She said he would like have cycles of taking them and not taking them again. Same. And something with people like me who have bipolar too. Like now I haven't been on my lithium in 2 years. Now I'm fully against it. But up until the 18 years prior to that, I would do the same thing. Even though I was self-medicating with drugs, like I just would, I don't know. I really don't see I have no excuse for it. And it's not because we think we're better. We know we're not better. We know that the medicine's making us feel better. I don't know, it's weird, but I'm not on it anymore. They keep you sick is what I feel like. Anyway, that's another thing. But anyway, and so, you know, she kind of feels like that her mom knew what was going on, and he had antidepressants in the house, sleeping medications, and then with any of these cycles, he also had a loaded gun in the house. And she feels like, you know, he was experiencing a lot of confusion, and he never went to therapy. And I think she said she feels like when he committed suicide in December 2002, she kind of still, ever since then, has kind of blamed her mom, but been a little, I don't know the word was, not resentful, but just kind of like, you could have did more. I don't know. And my perception is her mom knew her husband and knew, just like my family and my sister, they all know with me, there's nothing that you guys can do for me. You know what I mean? Like you can, you know, remember that when I'm trying to resolve conflict, like certain things like that, but like there's nothing you can do to change the way I feel. You know what I mean? Like it's something, some of it is chemical. Some of it's not, some of it is. The self-medicating is definitely, I'm a self-medicator. Addiction transfers, you know, and I didn't realize I didn't realize the addictions before. It was drugs, it was sex, and it was shopping. But it's, you know, my whole life, and just probably like her dad, I've talked about self-unaliving, but I've had two best friends that have done that to themselves, the same way that her dad did. And mine's more like the ideation, where like you don't want that, you just want the mental anguish to go away, you know. And I feel like the way she was describing her dad, I feel like maybe he the medication is on, maybe he didn't, I don't know if he planned it or not, but I know there's times where I was scared to have a gun in the house because I was afraid that me self-medicating would lead me to do that one day, not realizing, you know, not being fully in my head, because I've been hospitalized for that. And then I've come out of it, and I'm like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? Thank God somebody made me go to the hospital. ADHD, I feel like, who said you're better than anyone? Oh, maybe I'm reading your thing. I've got to read your comments. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to do that because I get sidetracked. But nobody's better than anybody else. We're all equally fucked up. I'm just saying. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but nobody's better than anybody else. Nobody's disease is better than anybody else's. We're all equally as fucked up as the other. Nobody's better than anybody else. Just saying. Back to the thing. So, yeah, so he committed suicide on, I keep saying it, self-unaliving, in December of 2022. I don't have an answer for that. I didn't ask you anything, Siri. Okay? All right. Don't interrupt me again. Just kidding. Just kidding, Siri. Love you. Okay. Anyway, so then we see Garcelle literally trying to talk to Reba, Sutton's mom, which, I mean, again, the preview showed us that Garcelle says to her, you know, talking about, you know, about Sutton really loves you and just wants you to be proud of her. And it's like, her mom's like, well, I don't think that's any of your business. And Garcelle, I don't know what I could try to build this weird bridge between these two people that, they just, I don't know. The conversation they have in the end is probably not going to be the right way. Need to have way more conversations than that. But, I don't know, I guess give Garcelle flowers for trying, but it isn't none of her business. And her mom, Reba, says, I don't want to insult you, but you have no clue. And she doesn't. Garcelle's like, you're right, I don't. And I'm just trying to be a good friend to Sutton. And then Reba's like, well, what are you giving me a message or something like that? And it's weird. It's kind of like the way she's treating Garcelle, she's not treating other women like that. But then the other women also aren't getting involved either. But I don't know. I feel like in the end, she softens up. But people are who they are. But even my age by now, people are who they are. You know? But, so then Garcelle just like, I've really missed my mother. My mother passed away, and I wish that if she was still here, whether it was good or bad, I wish I could still talk to her. I wish I could still fight with my mom, and I can't. And then it seemed like Reba softened up a little bit, but and as soon as that was short lived. As soon as like Sutton comes out and she's like, brunch is ready, Reba's like, well, we only been waiting since 8 o'clock. I mean, she's just like Sutton. I mean, Sutton's just like her. The way she treats Javi is the same way Sutton treats Javi. And Sutton's not soft. I don't care what she says. So, but anyway, and I feel like I agree with Garcelle with this, that Sutton's relationship with her dad, maybe Reba was a little bit jealous of it. But I feel like also, I think that they just haven't healed. They might have healed each like separately, but maybe they haven't healed together, because her mom was there when her dad did that. And the whole trip is she's going back to the house also that it happened in, that they grew up in. So when they're sitting down for lunch, Garcelle's like, or Sutton's like, to her mom, I plan on bringing Kyle and Garcelle to that home around the corner where I grew up, where and that's exactly where my father passed away. She's in the confessional. And Reba's like, that's a horrifying thought about going to the home. And Sutton's like, well, I plan on bringing them in. And she's like, that's even more horrifying. And it is horrifying. I mean, it is. I mean, listen, it was both of my best friends, their parents. One parent's family still lives there in the same house that they did in. And then M's sister, I can't say her first name, but she did it. We were 27. Her parents lived in that house too. And I've never been back to either one. And that's suicide. That's kind of what broke her and I as well. But yeah. But yeah. So, and then the first one I was 19. That was my friend Jamie. Holy crap, dude. I mean, I don't even think I even processed, because we were 19. I don't think I even processed it for years until when Nicole did it. Just that I just can't imagine. Like I've always said, if I was going to do it, it would definitely be an overdose. I'm too much of PUSSY, right? But both of them, my best friends, took a pal. You know what I mean? I can't understand the amount of pain that you must be in to do it that way. And the second time she shot the gun, it was a shotgun, and she shot it twice. She shot it once, I guess, to see if she knew how to work it, which that might have snapped me right the fuck back into reality, and it didn't. And that freaks me out. And also, she told us on the phone, she said she was going to do it. And me and her ex-boyfriend both said, go ahead. We were so tired of hearing it. It was like the boy who tried what we told her to. And I told her to, just like, go ahead, bitch. Like, he fucking saying you're going to do it. And she hung up. And, like, literally within 5 minutes, like, for something, I don't know, we were both fighting with her. I don't know why I'm talking about this real quick. But by the time it was 5 minutes drive, by the time we were on our way back to M's dad's house where she was, it was only 5 minutes. The cops were already on her street, and we started racing home, and we got to her street. We turned the corner, and it was just like 16 cops, and like it was raining. We stopped the car and we took off running in our socks because they had the road blocked, and she barricaded through the cops. I did it. I couldn't, but yeah. But so yeah, and I don't know how she ever did that. I mean, I also felt like Nicole was still there, like in purgatory in that house. I felt her every single time. And then her parents both passed away just recently in the last 2 years. And they had to sell that house. And I went there and I just stood outside and I could feel her not be there. I could feel her gone. I knew that she finally, I think she stayed all that time. Plus random psychics would come up to us and tell us that she was stuck in purgatory. Crazy, right? Or that, and she didn't realize that she was dead. Isn't that crazy? But and then I remember saying, well, I didn't say that because we weren't talking. But when I found out that her parents were both gone and the house was sold, I went and I sat out front. And I was like, I knew she was gone. And it's the weirdest thing. Her and Nicole and Jamie are the only two out of the people that I have that passed on have never came through to me. Isn't that weird? Probably because of the grief. I think it's a trauma too, and I think Sutton too. Like Sutton, Sutton is just now healing from it with her mom. You know what I mean? Isn't that crazy? And especially when it's when they do it themselves, like, and you know that the amount of pain they're in, and it's like, yeah. She felt like she had no, my two friends. The first one, I've thought for years after that, I just wish she would have held on because we were so young. The problems we had then weren't going to be the same problem. They weren't the problems they were problems that would go away. You know what I mean? They're 19-year-old problems. It was, there were drugs, but I mean, Nicole, she probably would have ended up back in prison. She was going to go to prison and her life was basically over. I mean, as she put it, and she probably still wouldn't have recovered from what was going to happen if she was still here. She got a lot of trouble, and that broke me. It breaks me still. Especially, and a part of the reason that her and I, it's nothing to do with Nicole, but like I think I'm really angry too at Em, just because she left me to deal with this for the rest of my life without her, and she gave me the choice. I can't be in her life, but you know what I mean. And I think maybe that's something I got to get over. But Garcelle, so anyway, she's taking, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked, but I was thinking about the dates too. I was trying to figure out how long it's been, and I realized that it's Nicole's birthday in like a week. Weird, right? And I only think about it when suicide comes up. But anyway, so back onto this one. So her mom's horrified of the fact that they want to go to this house, and I feel like Sutton probably feels like she needs to, and that's fine. She went to Spain and she dealt with what's his face that passed away, Merce in a purse. So I guess maybe Sutton's on this like healing journey. And when you realize when you're getting older too that like, I'm glad that I spoke to my parents. You know what I mean? But so her mom doesn't want to go, obviously, but so then her mom is like, I can't believe you're going to go in. And Sutton's like, well, I might have already talked to the homeowners. So the homeowners are going to let them all in. And it's only right around the corner. But like I said, when Sutton's dad had done that, Reba was in the kitchen. She was home. So Sutton, she's like she said, she knew, she feels like her mother knew all about everything that was going on. And she just didn't help him as much as she could. But again, I feel like she knew her husband, and like the same thing with me. There's nothing that you could physically really do to change it. And I definitely also don't think that no matter what we said to her, either one, like that she would have changed what she was going to do. And it's nobody's fault. It's not even their fault, But the alcohol and the self-medicating and the ups and downs too. And the thing, having a loaded gun in the house, though, that would be what I would be upset about, that part. But, and she's a resentment. That's what she said. She said she might have some resentment towards her mom. And yeah, I get it. So then we go back to California, and Boz and Erica and Dorit are back in California. And, and we met Lyle, is that her name, Lyle? Boz's 15-year-old daughter, who looks like a grown woman and is beautiful. And I thought it was like in her 30s, but she's gorgeous. Maybe I didn't have my glasses on, but they had an amazing conversation and I loved it. And it was about Keely and how she still has not told, I think she told the rest of them that her and Keely don't say they love each other. And she's already talking about having a baby with him. And I find that, and she doesn't think that's weird, and we all do. But anyway, because she's so close with her daughter, when they were working out, she started bringing up the subject of Keely and wanting her to get a little bit closer with him because she's 15. And she's like, also, how would you feel if me and him were to have another baby or have a baby? And she said she would be happy for her. She actually said that, I'm getting older and, I'm going to be going off to college. And she's like, what, you don't want me to be alone? And she's like, no, you were just such a great mother. And I want you to have somebody else to mother, basically. Cause not that I'm not going to need you anymore, but I basically I feel like you're such a great mother that somebody else would be lucky. And I think that, I want you like, you're good at that role, basically. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh. And Boz was very impressed with her daughter, and I'm very impressed with her daughter, especially the maturity of it. Like I said, 15, and I'm thinking that she's like, she looks like she's in her 20s. But I was a great conversation. It was an amazing conversation. Except for the fact that Keely and her do not say they love each other yet. And she's like, but I know, this is what she says. She's like, I know that we love each other. And I'm like, do you know that? Because I didn't know that at 6 months. And honestly, it took George paying off my fines for me before we were engaged for me to actually believe that he loved me. And which is weird that I looked at it that way. But I'm one of those people that like always thought that everything was, I'm always negative. I never thought anybody loved me. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And he wouldn't invest that kind of money in me. That's what made me think it and realize it. But so I don't know. I mean, I feel like he should be lucky to have her, because I think he's a normal blue collar worker, and she's who she is, the ex-president of Netflix. You know what I mean? But hello, beautiful people. Hi, Lady Virgo. But yeah, so that was a great conversation, and she gives Boz the okay, like, you know, and she's like, I'm so impressed, and I'm impressed too. So then the son, so they go to the house. So this is the part this was the best part of the whole show, I thought, and the part that made me cry. But so she takes the ladies to the house, and Sutton and, you know, despite Reba completely horrified, they go inside, and the current owner was so nice. So they knock on the door. So it's Kyle, Garcelle, and Sutton, and the lady was really nice, and Sutton was extremely emotional. And before they even got there, she's like, I don't know if I should go in, blah, blah, blah. But they did. So the owners were like, you can take all the time you want and all the time you need. And Sutton was like, I mean, what a blessing. Like, a blessing even for these people to be nice enough to do that. I mean, that gives me hope, because I really, really want to go to my grandparents' house, the house that I think of as my first home that I've missed and mourned my whole life. I know where it's at. Like, I always wanted the same owner still own it. And it was sold in like 85. And I always wanted to either buy it back, but I want to go back to it. And I've actually looking on, what's it called? Zillow, because when we had it, it was a farmhouse, and it was a farmhouse, even on the inside. And now they made it into a nursery where they sell Christmas trees. They have horses. There's peach orchards behind there. But the house is like amazing. And I want to do what Reba did. I mean, I want to do what Sutton did. I want to go back and walk through it. Oh, it would be so crazy. That house to me is, I cried. Like, me and George went and found it like 2 years ago, and I just sat outside and cried. I sat in the car outside of the house and cried. I mean, I was on the side of this really long, long road. But there's so many memories in this house. And plus, recently with my mom leaving my dad, we've been looking through photo albums, me and my sister, and like, I have so many photo albums of that pictures of me growing up in that house. But yeah, so they do that, and she says in her confessional, this is the last step in my healing. I just want to say goodbye to him. And she's like, I loved it so much. That was in her confessional. And sorry, I'm not picking my nose, but I'm not picking my nose, I swear. I got crusty. She hold on. God darn it. She's like, the day that he had passed away, they entered the room that her father died in, and Sutton points to the sofa, which is the last place she said she saw her dad. So I guess maybe they had the sofa there too. And she says, I was leaving for a dance performance, and she said he was sort of out of it. And she said every time they would walk by each other, he would hold out his hand, and they would just, like, tap hands as she's leaving, or, one of them is leaving the house. And she said that day he didn't do it, but she tugged on his toe, and then the next day is when that happened. So she said, I deeply regret not sitting with him for a few minutes. And, of course you think about all the things like, I should have sat with him. And she said she felt extremely guilty about it. And she said, I felt selfish, but, she didn't know. And again, you don't, like, how do you think, we feel? Me and Keith both told her to just have him do it. Like, it took me a long fucking time to first from one, not to be mad at her, and then not to be mad at myself. You know what I mean? So, but again, I know that there's nothing we could have did, and it wasn't because we said to. She said it every day. But, and I feel like Sutton maybe should, if she believes in that stuff, talking to a medium is basically what healed me. Not that I'm not clairaudience, so I don't hear them or see them, it's like I feel, and it's like in my head a little bit it's like the visions in my head. So to me, like having a medium tell me more of like what my guides and guardians are saying to my loved ones, it actually was like, it was healing, because I got to hear from both of them. And maybe I'm making, people believe in that stuff, but to me, like having them both come through and tell me that they're okay, I think was pretty much is basically what healed me, the last part of whatever I was holding on to with M that doesn't, that I could care less about her. Because if you guys, Ira knows, but when I first met you guys, I couldn't say her name without losing it for hours, crying for hours about it. And I think about her. Anyway, but I think what her sister did is probably why we'll never speak again. Even though we got way closer after. It's just, anyway. But, so she tells us that story, right? And, she was a daddy's girl, and they had a really close relationship. I couldn't imagine, because the way I am, I'm so selfish sometimes. And I just feel like, my dad's my dad, my other dad. I have two dads and two moms. But right now, I'm not talking to one of my dads because actually he's not speaking to me, which whatever. But I feel like, they're at an age now, it's like I just have to get over my shit. And like whatever your problem is, your problem is. But so I'm actually closer with the dads you guys see all the time now. But yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like I'm hurting for my parents like right now, but what they're even going through. I couldn't imagine like losing one of them, and I don't know, not healing that relationship because I almost lost my mom 4 times, to cancer. But anyway, I have to take. The fact that they're all healthy right now, I should just get over my shit because actually, this watching this whole episode, I reflected on everything. Like that situation and my parents, because the way when I realized why something was there, because I'm like, what was this whole thing that she was going there for anyway? But it's just to heal some stuff with her mom. She said ever since that happened, which is 2002, 22 years, she hasn't felt, her and her mom they've never actually talked about it either, which is crazy. But Sutton, she's like, I want the rest of my mother's life to be happy and peaceful. And that's great. I'm glad. And I'm, she's like, her relationship with her mom, she hasn't been in a good spot since that happened, but she's ready to fix it finally. And I feel like I said, she did the whole thing with Merce last year and she's on a healing journey, and good for her for doing it now, but, so that all happened. So that's amazing. And that's very emotional. I cried, I had to redo my makeup. But then we get over back to LA. Let me see what you guys are saying so far. Hey, God. Oh, hey, Gotti girl, are you here? Hey, thanks for joining. Oh, shoot. I didn't know I was back on camera. I didn't realize I wasn't on camera, guys. But that's right, because I had to pick my nose. 22 years. And yeah, not thinking any healing or listen, 22 years, it goes by fast. The last 20 years has gone by really fast as well. So that's a long time. But they get back to LA and we have Boz meeting up with Erica and Dorit. This is after Boz has a talk with her daughter, which was awesome. So glad that they showed it. I'm just so glad that we met her daughter and we see how close they are. And I'm happy for that. So both the ladies are having this discussion with Boz about Keely and having babies. And she's like, well, I have to ask you guys something. She's like, I need to get your advice about something. And she's like, Keely and I, we don't say we love each other. We don't say I love you yet. And both of them, Erica and Dorit are both like, huh? What are you talking about? Like they didn't hear her. It kind of was like, and all of us are like, huh? This is when she tries to sell us on that she knows that she loves him. He loves her. And I don't, but she's talking to her girlfriends about it. I don't think she's talking about babies with him. But again, people our age and their age, you don't date just to date. Like he said, you're not going to waste somebody's time. Like, I really don't believe reason, season, all that crap. I really feel like at our age, oh, thank you. At our age, you don't date to just I wouldn't anyway. But then again, I've only had 2 relationships. I'm married to the second one. So, and was kind of married to the other one. It's, you know what I mean? I've always been in a relationship. I was just somebody that didn't want kids. But yeah, 22 years can go by really fast. Think about it. So Sutton was in her 40s when this happened, and she was still living at home. 2002 was 22 years ago, right? And Sutton was married, right? I mean, I guess she wasn't living with her parents, but they live. Oh, I don't know. The timeline, 2002. I'm confused. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she didn't be Christian yet. But anyway, whatever the situation is, it happened, and finally she's with her mom, and that was the whole point going there, was to heal all of that, which is great. And okay, so then we're back in LA. Sorry, and the whole part with Keely and her, don't they say each other? It was just cute. First of all, Boz saying all that, and their faces were amazing, and they were honest with her, and they were like, because it's wild, and they have to. If you don't say something, that's weird. If you don't say, what do you mean you don't say I love you? And you talk about having kids. Of course, people are like, we're seeing red flags, right? But Boz is sure that he loves her, and I just hope that she doesn't get hurt. And the rest of them, they hope she doesn't get hurt. And then Dorit decides to tell everybody that, oh, by the way, I expect to pay Kay, and he's the best. He's amazing. He's a wonderful father again, and he's my PK again, and he's great, and he's wonderful, and he's being so nice to me, and he's not my enemy. He's my children's father. And well, we didn't know he was your enemy until you told us. Dorito, it's Dorito Deflecto. She's back. Dorito Deflecto. She's like, well, I asked to slow his roll and insisted, I insisted that it be all about our two children. And Boz is like, this is a trick. And Dorit's like, what do you mean? No, it's not. What are you talking about? And she's like, the 7-page email that he wrote me, the one that you told us all about, ragging on you. She calls it ragging instead of him berating her. It was berating. It was cursing. It was mean. It was like, I don't give a fuck about you. I haven't talked to you in weeks. Leave me alone. That was PK. That is truly how he feels. He has shown you, Dorit. Believe the first time he showed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, since this happened, he wasn't even coming home when they were married. It's like he's being nice to you now after the fact. It's weird, don't you think, Dorit? Of course he doesn't want to have to hear a bunch of shit, but again, he also was literally flipping the fuck out on her. Like she fucking literally ran over his dog instead of him cheating on her and leaving her for no reason. Well, not no reason, but the fact that she blames alcohol, whatever. We know what happened. He fell in love with her. It is what it is. But he definitely is going to do that whole, I need to divorce you before 10 years is up so I don't have to pay you alimony. Because somebody made him hip to it, Mauricio. So Mauricio and Kyle's telling the women, also besides note, how that PK, I don't know if Dorit tells them or Kyle tells them. I think it was Kyle. Anyway, how he's going here, he's going there, and he's meeting up with Mauricio in Punta Cana or Ibiza or something like that. Sober him, hang out with not sober Mo. And I'm sure Mo and all his women. He's so gross. I wonder if he has anybody dressed up like kitty cats. I'm just saying. I wonder if PK knows about the kitty cat thing. Anyway, so Erica is listening to this and she's looking at Dorit like, listen. Dorit's like, your eyes are rolling in the back of your head, Erica. And Dorit's like, Erica's like, he's ruthless. And he's ruthless in business. He'll be ruthless with this divorce. And Dorit's just not listening to either one of them. And she says, this is a trick. Well, Boz says this is a trick. Erica says, look, he's only acting calm now because he's going to act before you do. Or he's going to keep you, kind of in the calm air, keep you at bay so he can strike first. You know what I mean? And she's like, you need to go get yourself a divorce attorney. And she's like, you need to take action now, but Dorit's not listening. She doesn't even have a lawyer yet. And I feel like PK, somebody made him hip to that 10-year thing and wants her to sell the house and do all that stuff because literally, remember he called her berating her about the money and stuff? So we'll see. But then we get back to that happens. And of course, we're all like, Dorit, what the fuck are you? Obviously, he's the person that he showed you. The whole reason he's leaving, that's who that is. He just turned into that guy because he wants to hear Dorit's mouth too. But again, he's got kids. Why is he not worried about that? All of this should be irrelevant. He should just be nice to her because of the kids. But then he was never there anyway, which is awful, fucking awful. He's a horrible fucking dad. like really bad. I mean, like PK, dude, my dude, like you can't even get mad at. He calls Dana CUNT because Dana calls him out for being a horrible father, and you are, and because she knows that he has a girlfriend in wherever they're from, and in the UK. But now we find out, well, he was flipping out. He called Dana out at CUNT, and then we find out it was true. But anyway, allegedly. So meanwhile, back in the ranch, back in Georgia, Sutton is making dinner, and she's talking about how her dad's crab cake recipe, that's what she was making, and Reba and her are both excited for having that, whatever. But they're talking about this detail that they don't have for it or something, and they're both being extremely particular. Like, you know how Sutton is, like, Avi didn't get this or get that, or like the 9 lemons thing, the 9 lemons in the bowl thing. And then they showed all these montages of Sutton being really fussy, of like, especially when she was yelling at Avi and about the coat hangers and stuff. No more wire hangers. No wire hangers. Remember? It was horrible. But then the Reba's the same way. And that's what they were trying to show. But Sutton also is she's getting ready for dinner. She has all these designs that she created, which I didn't know she was doing. It's a clothing line. I didn't know that. She has them all out for some reason. And she calls them creating capsule collections. So she was telling her mom all about it. And why she's telling her mom about it, Garcelle and Kyle are hiding on the stairs listening. Because finally they're trying to I guess she told them that she was going to go talk to her mom. I hope you guys can hear me. I need my drink real quick. Talk to her mom. And so they're like, listening. And I don't live with speakers. I can't stand speakers. So then she starts to tell her mom, and she starts to say something about how special these pieces are and how they're imported, and she's been working on it for a while, and something about, like, I just want you to be proud of me. Hold on, I have to get back to my notes. 1 second. Please stop pushing the door open. I see dead people. I can't stand it. It's always this door that's always peeked open. Don't listen to me. So that happens. So they're talking about this stuff, right? And Sutton's like, I don't know if you're ever proud of me. I never knew if you're proud of me. And her mom goes, why wouldn't I be? Why would you think I would be proud of you? Again, I said the same thing to my mom about this stuff. And she's like, why wouldn't I be? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know, because you don't tell me. Well, that's exactly what Sutton said. You don't tell me. And Reba said, I don't need to. She's like, you also don't tell me that you love me. And Reba's like, look, I do. And, but you never say it. And Reba's like, I don't need to. But I guess, Sutton needs her to. So she explained to her that she needed to hear it. And Reba said, without a lot of feelings, she's like, look, saying I love you is trite, she said. And everyone uses it too much. So then Garcelle and Kyle are like completely horrified. But next, Sutton says to her mom, like, if you don't feel like saying it, and you saying you love me and your children, or you love me and you're proud of me is trite, that's fine. But I feel like you need to tell your children that you love them and you're proud of them. And, Reba's like, well, listen, I grew up in a different time. Something about after World War II, people after World War II, people just kept moving forward, and there wasn't any discussion of emotions. And I've heard people say that too. Like, people were so upset about the Vietnam War, and then these other 2 wars happened, that people just were unemotional at that point. They were just numb because there was just so much horror. And a lot of wives and husbands went away, and they didn't come back. So anyway, Reba ends up thanking Sutton and for telling her how she feels. And she's like, look, I'm inviting you to my fashion show. And even though you don't like to travel, Reba's like, she thinks that she'll be able to go. And that was awesome. Sutton's like, that means so much to me because I know you're not a traveler. And she's like, does that mean that you love me or two or something like that? And her mom says, so I have to sleep in Philip's room, the one that she called weird. And Reba's like, no. And so they both agree to work on their relationship. And Reba's like, we can do better. And that was pretty cool. So, okay, well, how's that the end of my notes? And there's more to that. Is that the end? I don't think that's the end. Maybe there's more. Hold on. What are you guys saying? Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, Peliver Girl. Oh my God, thank you guys all for being here. I've seen you guys in so long. Hey, Val Porter. Val Porter's here too. Val Porter. I haven't seen you in so long. I love you guys for all being here. Oh my God, there's a lot of these here. The guy hangs up here. Was that the end of the show? I feel like that was the end of the show. Wasn't there more of a discussion after that? I don't think there was. It was a good episode. Oh God, there's 400 people. Holy crap. Hey, 400 people. In case you're just coming in from TikTok, I am Krista Marie, Reality of Krista Marie, and I do the Host Society One podcast, which is the Housewives feuds during the week, and which I keep saying I'm going to keep going back to Whose Side Are We On, but I always don't do the Whose Side Are You On. Actually, nobody was arguing this episode, but yeah, it was funny watching them. I know, but see, I like this episode because when we dig into, just like I said with the other last week, when we get into other people's lives and not fighting with each other, that's what we miss. That's what we want. That's what we started out with. That's how it was in the beginning. They weren't fighting each other. Okay. They were just, we have, with Gina Kiap, with her husband, Matt, and all the issues that like Laura, what's her name? Was it Lori, with her husband, ex-husband, her son, you know what I mean? So like when they're not fighting with each other, like I said, I can deal with fake Erica. This is what we got to do for me not to have a nervous breakdown every time I see this woman because she makes me crazy. Fine. Oh yeah, there was a couple scenes with Erica too. She was talking about her house, I think in the beginning, like she's getting her revealed to her house. I guess she redid her living room or something. And I guess she's trying to move on, but I know that she's got trials coming up. Like this is not over for her. Once Tom's been found guilty, it's easier for her to be prosecuted. So as soon as all these bankruptcy things are over, they're going after her criminally. You're not feeling it now. Is it because now you think it's boring, right? Now, see, it's like, but if so what would make it not boring? Like, that's what I feel. Because I'm like, I was calling it boring, but then I'm like, no, because this is what I want. And I know, unlike Salt Lake, these friendships and what they're doing now is not fake. There's not some showrunner going, oh, you guys need to pretend to be friends like they did to Monica, like they did with Heather, making her feel like she got the biggest dick. You know what I mean? And I can tell that this is, even Erica's being fake, it's better than what we used to have with her. As much as I can't stand Kyle, we're not focused on Kyle, and that's fine. And we'll see how far we get, but we're not focused on Kyle and her fucking problems. You know what I mean? We actually get conflict resolution. You can't get into it. Do you think it's because it's boring or because there's no? See, I'm tired. I don't know what else. I like that these women are we're digging into their lives and their problems and not their problems with each other. Even though I want to read to still tell Kyle to fuck off all the time, I want her to stick to not letting Kyle say shit. And basically, like, exactly, it was. I'm going to drop the link. I forgot. Not that I forgot about you, Larja. Just in case anyone wants to call and talk about it. I didn't watch the after show, but I don't think, this episode was good. It wasn't stressful. Who's opening my door? I can't take it anymore. There's nobody here. I know there's nobody here. There's nobody here. It's probably the wind. Speaking of that, at my parents' house, well, I don't know if we've called my parents, my dad's house, my sister's house. I don't know whose house it is anymore. My brother's mother-in-law, no, my brother's father-in-law died in that house. My mother-in-law passed away in this house. So, but when I was at my parents' house and I was kind of almost by myself a couple of times, I got this overwhelming feeling. I felt somebody heavy, and I just felt a heaviness, and it freaked me out. And I don't get freaked out by spirit ever. Like, I'll sit out back and talk to the aliens that you guys can't see. You know what I mean? But something made me freak. And he's a great guy. He was amazing. I mean, yeah, he was amazing. He was decent. He was a great guy. He was a really cool guy. And like, I told him, like, don't be scared. It's only John, Oh my God, hold on. My screen's going crazy. Give me a second. I have to do something real quick. It keeps doing this stupid thing. All right, mail. Hold on. It's like literally going crazy. Oh my God. Get out of here, trash. Hold on. Oh crap. Stop it. It's literally going nuts. I have no idea. That shut my mail off. Okay. Get out of here. Quit. Okay. Please quit. Get the fuck. All right. No, maybe I don't need it. Okay. Bye, Larja. Oh, now it's going crazy still. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. 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 Over here. Hold on, Joey, right there. This my screen's going nuts. There we go. Right. Quit. Okay. What a nightmare. I don't know what's going on. I keep saying I have to every once in a while I have to quit this freaking my mail pops up and it like goes crazy. My screen starts glitching. Ugh. Okay. Hey.
Hey, beautiful. How's it going?
Great. How are you?
I am so full of love and so glad that I'm able to talk to you about how much I love this episode.
Isn't it great? It was awesome. I like it.
Yes.
I mean, I love the part. Did you watch? You saw all of it, right? The part with
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I watched the entire thing and like you said, I was thinking about it too. I
mm-hmm.
had a family member who to this day I don't believe I don't believe what the police report says, y'all. I don't believe he did it. I don't believe it. But, they said that he, unalived himself. And so, that's what they said. And but it was just the way. It was just so crazy. And I don't mean to be morbid, but it was, look, I said, but I'm sorry.
It's
I
good.
don't mean to be morbid. And this is for
I
we
was
grew up
kind of
like
morbid
brother and
too.
sister.
It's healing for us,
Yeah.
but
And so it is healing. I'm not venting, I'm healing.
yes,
And so,
because we're moving on
okay.
to
So like
tomorrow.
he had just got the paperwork for his restaurant that was going to be called Gabriel's Fire.
Mm,
He was, he had just like planned a trip with his brother, like a golfing trip around like the world or something like that.
mm,
He like his money was good as far as I knew. Um, and he had all these plans. And usually they say like people
yeah,
don't have plans, if that's something on their mind. And he wasn't talking about it. It wasn't something like when he got mad, he would be like, oh, I'm going to do this. You know what I mean?
right.
And plus, he had a baby's mom. So one of his daughters had already lost a mother to her mother actually doing it,
Mm,
calling everybody. And then as soon as they walked in the door, she did it in a bathtub. And so, like, we were like, he would never do it. You know what I mean? Like, leave his daughter with two parents that did that. Like, that was like, we were
yeah,
like, he would never.
that's
And
what we.
so, for them to have found him with, okay, this is really morbid,
That's okay.
a plastic bag
Mm,
around his head that
mm,
was
mm,
taped with helium going inside. Because if you have too much helium from those
mm.
helium tanks, it doesn't just make your voice go high, it can,
Oh,
unalive you. And so basically, like they said, he gassed himself. And I
oh
was
my
like, so you're saying
god!
like you put the tape around perfectly and put the hose in there
You know what that sounds
and
like?
then turned on the thing and waited and there was like no tear marks to the mask or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was just so weird. So I to this day do not believe
You
that
know,
he did it. I believe to this day like that's too many steps.
yeah. Did you know that usually the MOB, that's how they do it with a plastic bag over your head. So could that have he wasn't involved with them or anything, right? Any of those kind of
Well,
people?
you know what? He was an OG. So
Okay.
and he
Yeah. No,
was he was Mason enough to keep it all on the QT. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
was not a braggadocious type, but he did
Mm-hmm.
know some scoundrels. But he was exemplary, but knew some scoundrels because, like, he was a firefighter. He was
Right.
like, you know what I mean? So he was like,
Yeah.
but, and that's the other thing. I'm like, he was a whole firefighter. Why would he have taken so many steps?
Yeah. I mean, and was it like did you find out anything that was going on in his life at that time, like that could have
Well, we
even?
did end up finding out that his wife at the time, who he was married to, had been married twice before, and both her previous husbands had unalived themselves.
Oh, oh shoot.
So when I found that out, I immediately called the authorities in the state where it happened because it wasn't here in California. And I was like, oh
Oh,
my God, you can't close the case. They were like, well,
Oh,
ma'am, she's already had the body released to be cremated. I was like, it happened on Wednesday. It's Friday. What are you talking about? She already released it for cremation. I was like, that doesn't seem suspicious to you? They were like, no, ma'am, she has the right to do it. You know, they said that there was a letter left and that he was in money trouble. And I was like, that's not true. That's not true. You know what I mean? And I was
yeah,
like, but what about her other two dudes unaliving themselves too? Suppose, you know what I'm saying? Like that's too many
yeah,
people
yeah.
attached to one person.
Well,
And
especially,
there's so many steps involved. I was just like, to this day, I just don't believe it. I
you know,
just,
this
I'm like,
really reminds
bless
me
his
of
heart.
about what's going on with Twitch. Well, what was going on? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh my gosh, you're totally right. Oh my gosh, you're totally
But then,
right.
but we didn't know it. Even but his closest friends knew that he was suffering with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like nobody else really kind of picked up on that how bad it really was. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and maybe she just was. I'm not saying Twitch's wife is like this with every person she's with, but I feel like he was a softer person. She was the aggressor in the relationship, and that he just felt beaten down. You know what I mean? Like maybe there was something because he didn't share it with a lot of people. She also tried to say that these weird drugs were found in her closet, and you're like, mushrooms and what, like something weird that like people just hold on, like something that you kind of hold on to, like ecstasy,
Yeah.
like you just have it. You know what I mean? If you that's not
Yeah.
a drug, like, they're not the drugs that you do every day. It doesn't make you an addict because you have mushrooms
Right.
and maybe some, like, you know what I mean. But
Don't
anyway,
judge the Supermans in my closet.
right, exactly. And like he took a lot of steps too. Like a lot of steps too. Go somewhere and do all that, and everybody's like complete. Nobody believes that was a self unaliving. And also, like with Jamie, my first best friend, we also didn't believe it either. We thought her stepdad did it, but we were
Oh,
young.
see? Yeah. Well,
But
see, no, I was old. I was old and have been watching like a lot of CSI that decade, and so none of it helped the situation. I was like, but Perry Mason would
yeah,
even add it to like his argument that Wednesday, Friday for the cremation, Wednesday, Friday, really? Like that's too soon, sir.
it is too soon. Especially, I think with those cases too, when it's like there's questions, they shouldn't have that done right away because you can't really go back. You know what I mean? I can't go back.
Yeah,
So if there's any kind of questions, I do believe, like even if you just want to prove, let's just make sure he did that. Not if you're accusing
yeah.
somebody of something. Like why
Like
find out if you're
what
not
if
sure?
he had got roofied and then they staged that and made it look like that happened.
Yeah.
And then when the authorities come, you rush, hurry, hurry, and have the cremation because then you burn out all the freaking
Mm-hmm.
whatever you roofied him with. So like I'm thinking CSI, right?
Like, that they make them shows for a reason. There's datelines for a reason because this really happens. It's very quite possible like what you're thinking is true because again they make Dateline episodes for a reason. Like they're real people. But
Hmm.
also when I think they take tissue samples sometimes before they do the
Right.
cremation, so they could actually go back and check them if they've kept them with your friend if they ever want to do
Hmm.
it just to see if there's anything in the system, just to see.
Right.
People just roofie themselves, you know what I mean, or like
Exactly.
or drug themselves, and then I don't. Well, I'm not saying people. I don't know, but I would think that like if it was something he was planning, um, a lot of steps would make sense. But if it's something like if he didn't have anything going on that would trigger him, like I feel like I'd be one of those person that would like do it in a spur of the moment, not a planner, but I would regret
Yeah.
it. It's like a regretful thing. But
Yeah.
if he didn't have anything visibly going on, oh, I'd be suspicious too. But that you knew of that would make him want to do that. There's got to be think about a motive. What a motive to do that to yourself? You know,
Yeah.
I just feel like what,
I
what
don't know. I don't know. Sometimes people, you're right. Sometimes people could just be so over there that we don't even know. Like I'm like, really, Robin Williams? Really?
I know, and I feel like Chris Cornell and Chester Benningfield. I don't think any. I really have so many doubts with all of it, like all of that,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially because the way that Chris Cornell did it. How you're describing seems like you'd be struggling halfway through that you would probably your arms would be able to continue on to unalive
Not
yourself.
tear the plastic.
Yeah, like exactly. Like Chris Cornell was sitting his up against the doorway, and I guess he tried to slide down. They said that he tied something to the door, and it was like an exercise thing, and he tied his,
Yeah.
and it was like, what? He wouldn't even be half
And
weird.
the wife
Mm.
had a girlfriend who she had known through all of these unalived husbands
Ooh,
who arrived on the scene from like many states away. She had got there before the authorities, allegedly. So I'm
allegedly.
just like, and I even brought her into it. I was like, Your Honor, well, this was your
Mm.
officer. Your
Yeah.
officer, I was like, her little friend. Why is her friend there so quick? Oh, well, from what she told us, she was there to, comfort her. Well, why is she there so soon, though? Like, she was there before you guys were there.
And she lives states away, right? I
Yeah, I think they did something to him. I don't know. To this, I
mean,
don't know.
honestly,
I
like
don't know.
I'm so like Aaron. So like when me and Aaron would do whose side are you on, I'm always the one's like, yeah, I definitely, absolutely. And Aaron's like, no, Aaron believes the best of everything, and I'm just like the worst. I am on your side with this one. I don't know the situation, but to me, like I think like there's the logical, critical thinking part, and not like the coincidental part, because they say there's no such thing as coincidences. But like, what are the odds that this person's friend would just be there within minutes? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, who knew why, or was there something going on that I need you to come. He's acting crazy. Something's happening. You know what I mean? Like, why are you there?
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, truth be told, I do believe they were a throuple at times when she would come to town.
Oof.
So,
Well,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Um, but
But
that's some,
why not say, oh, she was already here? Why was it like, I don't know. There was like this whole timeline thing with it. And,
yeah,
Heather Gay and me wanted proof timeline and
yeah,
receipts,
and
officer, before you allow the body to be cremated. I'm like, that's the
received.
evidence. I
Just to
was
get
like, can you put a hold on it? They're like, no, sorry,
the,
ma'am.
I know, especially because you can't go back.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened. Like look
And
at,
that stuff, I've
yeah.
never heard of it being picked up in ashes. Like the whole reason for the cremation is to like burn the evidence, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. If you that's that person, if that's what they're, yeah. I want to be cremated because I just feel like I don't know why I want to be cremated. I don't want to be in the ground, but I feel like I would, if it was there's a question, don't cremate me for weeks. Like make sure I'm not, you know what I mean? Like if there's
right,
any questions about, you know what I mean? I don't want my husband to get blamed for like unaliving me or something. You know what I mean?
right,
Figure
right.
it out, please, please, by all means, do not cremate me right away. Figure it out. I always told him if you ever wanted to kill me, because I would probably be the wife that gets unalived, because he's like the quiet one, and I'm the crazy person, and I'm just like, why aren't you mad? Why don't you hate? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you're gonna kill me one
Right.
day, snap and kill me one day, and I'm like, just don't do it. If you get that mad at me, I'll just do it for you, and I'll make sure you don't get caught.
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
well, because like I wouldn't want him to get in trouble because I would probably deserve it if he did it. So I was like, I'll just make sure you don't get caught, because everybody around me is pretty stupid. They're the dumbest criminals I've ever met in my life. They don't know how to do anything right. It's like they would get caught. But
Oh
anyway,
my gosh. Do you have any dumb criminals in your circle of dumb criminal knowing
yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
that went to go rob the Subway place, but started by filling out an application late at night and waited until there was nobody left in the store to turn in the application and then pull out the bang bang and try to rob the place, but left the application so the po-po were waiting for them by the time they got home?
No, I have somebody that just decided to rob Dunkin' Donuts and didn't cover their into the drive-thru and didn't cover the license plate.
Oh
And
no.
oh yeah, I like for crack. I mean, come on, they're
Yeah.
all dumb. They're all stupid. The other one decided he gets out, and instead I told him for 7 years, when you get out, you better not take care of the situation. There's other ways to do it. You don't have to get yourself in trouble. They'll go back to prison. They're not worth it. There's other ways to do this. This person gets out, and instead of listening to everybody else and says, why would you put yourself at risk? Like, you're not maxed out yet, right? You've been away from your family for 7 years. You get out, what do? You end up beating up the crap out of this person. So now you're back in prison instead of and wanting to unalive the person that they beat the crap out of. And I'm like, listen, a bad bag, that's it. Let them do a bad
Right.
bag. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you dumbass. Like, now you are in prison again, probably for a very long time, because this scumbag over here who's still alive is out here laughing at you because she fucked your girl, because the girlfriend or wife had an affair with another chick, and he decided to beat the crap out of her. And I'm like really bad. Instead of
Yeah.
just nobody would miss this bitch. Trust me, I've thought about it a million times to give her that. Then I catch myself saying that I'm like, I just said that. I give her a bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not cool. But people push it to a certain point. But what was my point in saying? Oh, dumb criminals. Yeah, that's a dumb criminal. The other dumb
Right.
criminal, he's also comes out. I'm baby daddy for like 7 years. I'm baby daddy for like this whole time while this fucker's in prison. Gets out.
Mm-hmm.
He's he goes twice. Okay, twice he goes back. Now he's still there now. Locks her up the first time. That was 10 years ago. I play baby daddy this whole time. He gets out. This motherfucker's back there again. Knocks her up again. He's back in prison again. And his excuse to me is, I was trying to provide for my family. Stealing food. Motherfucker, what? Now
Oh
you're
my gosh.
now, motherfucker, because I was baby daddy for 7 fucking years. Why?
Yeah.
You did your time and promised me that you come out and be a good fucking person. But no, you knock her up and then you say to me, I was providing for my family. Are you out of your effing mind? Calling me from jail and telling me that shit? Because now you're not, fucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
like dumb criminals. I said to these both of them, both my best friends' dudes, when I get, I'm like, please do not fuck up. Like, I don't want them to have to go through this again. And they've been, and they are exactly the same thing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what part of don't do it yourself that you don't fucking understand? Like, I said, the like going on reality TV when you're committing fraud is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't understand it. And me and this Cujo guy, my Uber driver, the other day, we're talking about dumb criminals too. And I was telling him about housewives and how stupid they are. And how, like, I was like, would you ever rob the fuck out of people for billions of dollars and actively doing it and then go on reality TV and brag about how much money you have?
Right.
She's like,
part.
oh. I said, honestly, I was robbing the government. I just got my ID back. I was they didn't know who the fuck I was. I would never be out there. Like, it's like you want to get caught. And I don't understand. Like, these bitches around here are just the dumbest ones I've ever met in my life. I'm like, get out of my life because you all suck. Like, you are going to get me, and I can fuck up all by myself, but like my anger, like, I'm not going to go put myself back in prison again. Like, I already did that once because of something stupid, like this person. And I was like, and then they're like probably laughing the whole time, you know, like they're laughing at you because you're the one who's like on parole, like literally in trouble for this shit for years after that, you felonies. And it's like, that's a dumb criminal. You know what I mean? I was a dumb criminal for a long time. Well, I told this girl every time I saw her I was going to fuck her up. And I did. And I just kept going to court and just like basically not letting it, just telling the judge, well, she stops fucking my husband. Then yeah, I'll stop fucking her up. But until then, I'm going to keep doing it. And I thought I was perfect. And the judge is like, no, you're not.
Right.
Judge
That's
like, no,
understandable.
I
You
said,
know,
yes,
if you fuck somebody's husband, expect to get fucked up. You're going to catch these hands.
Yeah,
You're
and it's
gonna
not the
catch
husband I'm
these
married to, by the way. Not the guy I'm with now. First guy I was with, but nobody knows
But
that.
poor Sutton, she was very vulnerable in this scene, in this
Yes.
episode. I love getting to know Sutton's other side and seeing where she gets it from. Because she's like a dainty, vicious ballerina.
She is, and she's like her mom. I think she's so much like her mom, but I didn't realize that. Except
Right.
she, like, I think with her kids, like she tells her kids that she loves them and she's proud of them. I guess because she didn't feel that from her parents, but
Mhm.
the way she is with Avi and with her other relationships, like they're both just completely. I mean, that's a lot of trauma for two people.
Yeah, it's a lot of just ordering about and very what's it called, verklempt and cut, and but it's sassy, so they're like, Avi understands her. They love
Right.
each other. This is no slight to that relationship, but there
Right.
is a tone that she has with Avi, a curtness, a dismissiveness, if you will, that
Yes.
she carries. And now that we've seen her mother be that way, and now that we get to understand that not only is it that her husband, and who she doesn't miss, her husband who she doesn't miss, and told Sutton, I was the one married to him. You know, we had a different relationship. And so I don't miss him. And for that to be how she feels,
I missed that.
that's deep, right? So it's not only her World War II, it's that whatever happened in their love, whatever Sutton remembered of it, might not be what her mother's experience was for her to not miss it.
Well, you know what? Dealing with somebody that's also like whatever he was going through probably really weighed on her. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't, who knows how long it was going on. I mean, she said she was like 22, I think, when she got the first phone call about her dad. So, I mean, that's a good 15, 20 years of whatever her mom was dealing with. And it's exhausting to deal with it. Like, it would be exhausting it's exhausting for my husband now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Dealing with mental health. You know what I mean? So, like, you can be, I don't know what her dad was like, but you can be very mentally abusive too to to the person you're with. You know, I
right,
am. I'm always telling. I just told my husband I'm gonna slice his throat like 5 times. I told my dad that the other day. Like, we're fighting, and I'm telling him I'm gonna fucking slice your throat. Like, I get really
right.
like, I don't know what the fuck my problem is, but I just get so angry, and like, who the fuck wants to live with somebody like, you know what I mean?
Did you know there's a study? You don't have to feel that bad. Look, I always have a silver lining for you, girl. I heard a
My
study
husband who he
that the
is.
people who talk about, murdering people
Mm-hmm.
and,
He'll never do it.
whooping an ass or something are less likely to do it, actually. And the people that hold it in and don't really verbalize it are the people that end up like in.
Well, that's what I said. If I'm saying it to you, I'm not going to do it. I'm not like, if I'm telling the world, I'm
Yeah,
going to say, I would not go slice your throat then. Like, I'm not going to go. I just told on myself. And like, if you hear me saying it out loud, you don't just talking shit. You know, it's like this.
right,
It's like you fuck me over and you don't hear a word from me, and you don't say shit about it, and I say nothing. That's when you worry, because that
right.
means I'm actually probably planning on you're gonna you know what I'm
I
saying.
like Reba. Did you like Reba?
I like her. Yeah, I like her because I feel like with that her and Sutton were just missing each other. Like, you know what I mean? They weren't that you two people communicating. Sometimes you need a third party to like explain to you what this person's trying to say and what this person's trying to communicate, because it's not working with you two doing it with each other any longer. Like,
Right.
communicating isn't working, and I don't know if they were trying to, but sometimes they need a third party to step in and be like, like a therapist or something, to be
Well,
like,
I think Garcelle was a little fluffer in that situation, and
yeah,
kudos to her for like a lot of people might have thought it was like too much or intrusive, but I think it was a cute little tender moment. And she had
mhm.
already told Sutton that she was going to do it, I believe. And so it wasn't like
It's
overstepping. Sutton didn't say don't do it, or I'm sure she wouldn't have done it. But
I
I
like when
thought
her
it was cute. I like that Sutton checked her. I mean, I like that Reba checked her
yeah,
and, well, let her know how much she was willing to hear from
yeah,
Garcelle. But then you could still tell, well, to me, it felt like it still got through
it did.
because then when she dealt with Sutton later, she was softer.
Yes. And that's exactly how, because they were just, I feel like they were just misunderstanding each other. Like, and they were, like
Yeah.
maybe my parents they weren't telling me anything. I'm not proud of me. I was complaining to you guys. I'm like, my parents don't love me. They're not proud of me. They don't love me. My podcast. And literally they were just, and now they do, because all I did was like have a talk with them. And
Yeah.
literally it was like, oh, you do love me. You know what I mean?
Right.
My dad's on here every day. And,
Right.
he's here seeing, and like, it was me just like saying it. I guess I don't know. I just felt like, again, I didn't understand what my mom was going through that made her be a certain way. Now I know. And it wasn't me. You know what I mean? Like, I was blaming myself. My dad's the same way. My dad, he is who he is. And, I've always thought he was a great dad and a great husband. But,
Right.
uh,
Sorry.
there's a lot of like, it's weird because like, I really do, now that I'm close with them again, it's like, what was I thinking? Like, I was ready to go my whole life without speaking to them again. Convinced that they didn't love me, really. That they had nothing
Right.
to
And
do.
you see how like self-talk is so important. On
Yeah.
on this Valentine's Day, I would offer that we need to love ourselves first. And then from that, do the rest of it because, from everything from self-talk to self-thoughts, do a lot of loving in those places. And then it's more likely that, you know, you'll be
I'm
able
just
to
saying that
experience it.
this episode was important, I think. Um,
Very.
it wasn't because they weren't focused on fights with each other, which
I
is like
loved it.
literally what I feel like. Everybody complains that our other franchises were getting so toxic because
I
they're
was
fucking each other over and it was getting annoying. Remember,
so annoyed.
I didn't sleep for 3 days with Monica.
Yeah.
I'm still not
Yeah.
over it. I'm still I'm still not over this Heather. Like,
Exactly.
Heather Von Teese, I will put a pin in it till next season, but I'm going to do a lot of investigating in the meantime for my therapy. That'll be my therapy. But I mean, yeah,
Right? Look
I
out level 8. We're gonna
begin
find all of it.
on the first,
Ah,
always on the most benevolent timeline available. On the most benevolent when we start, but it's benevolent when we end. And
Yeah.
we wake up with the most benevolent timeline. And
I thought it was
Sutton
a
was
most
very,
benevolent episode. It
yeah,
was
and
so
Sutton went through a journey.
refreshing to not have that toxicity.
Yep.
Having the girls separated into their proverbial groups,
Yeah.
splitting up the class
It was weird.
was very beneficial in this situation. And because we
Right.
see we're going to be right next to the toxicity next episode, right back to it,
Are
when
we?
the ladies come together at Dorit's house and everybody's going to get together and argue some more because I don't know, they have something to prove to the other counterparts, I guess. But with the group that Sutton picked in the after show,
Oh.
she was saying that she picked Garcelle and she thought she did a good choice. I think she did a good choice too.
I do too now.
And I did notice the difference between treatment of Reba and like Kyle and Reba and Garcelle. And even Kyle in the after show was like, ooh, I don't think Reba liked Garcelle. I don't know if I would have been able to handle that treatment. Even Kyle said it.
Because she's a pussy. Kyle's a pussy. Sorry. Kyle's got no backbone. That's why. I mean, that's the only reason she
Yeah,
would. Garcelle is the right
right.
person to talk to Reba, definitely. I think.
Hmm.
Because I think Kyle's too much of a like, oh, I think she might have sided with Reba a little bit more instead of sticking up for something, maybe. I don't know. Or tried to say, oh, I understand. But Garcelle was like, no, I'm just, I talked to my friend and she's hurt. And I just wanted to make you aware that's how she feels. Yeah. And yeah, when I did it, however, I started to like her too in the end. Because like I said, they were just missing each other. We could have gone on thinking, never meeting Sutton's mom, thinking, Sutton was, says certain things about her mom. And we wouldn't have never met Reba if this didn't happen.
Right.
And we just thought, oh, poor Sutton, her mom's horrible. But really, her mom and her just weren't connecting the way that, they needed to for each other to heal, I guess, And like her mom, maybe her mom doesn't have all the feelings that Sutton does, but it definitely, like when she said she would go to her show and stuff, that you could see in her face that she is proud of Sutton,
Right.
But my mom said the same thing. She's like, why wouldn't I be proud of you? I'm like, I don't know, because you don't say it. You know what I mean? Or like you don't bother with my podcast or my show or anything, and I'm live 3 days. You know what I mean? I was like, until like I was convinced that if they gave a shit, they would be here or they would,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I had just made them aware of it. Now they're, what I mean? It's like weird. Now I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? All I had to do was say something. Like,
And that's the thing. Usually all you have to do is speak up. A closed mouth don't get fed. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask, believe, receive, girl.
especially when I got 4 of them I could deal with, and we all have different, like, I don't want to say we're all 4 of us are
Your hair
toxic,
looks great today. I like
but
those. I like that coloring.
I
I like
have,
that it's a lot darker today. I'm digging that. What is the highlight? Is the highlight blonde?
yeah, I colored it last night. I colored my hair darker because I like
Uh-huh.
right. Yeah, I got new extensions. That's why I'm like obsessed with them and playing with them. But yeah, I
It
put
looks
some black
good.
pieces in. I did darken
Yeah.
them pieces on the side. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm admiring it too. I know I can't stop. I know I tell people, hey Tony. That's what I tell the people. I was listening to myself, listening back to the podcast on the podcast side, and I have to either like put a pre-roll or what's called B-roll in there and explain to anybody that's listening on that side that there's chapters and like the first 10 minutes you're going to be completely annoyed with me because it takes me 10 minutes to even get like going. But if you're not
Yeah.
watching it, listening, it does sound very disjointed, and I think I need to put like say something about it because it's getting downloads. Like the podcast side, like on Apple and stuff, it's getting downloads. So if you guys are doing it, thank you. If you're not, anybody else that is downloading any episode, I appreciate it. Please know that I am not professional. I am no Ryan Bailey. So much to Crazy Live because I don't like, my sister's like, you need to edit. I'm like, no, I don't. I will never do that. I hate to edit. It makes my brain hurt. It sucks.
Right?
It
What do
does.
you mean I have to go back and do something else?
I want to just I make my reels. Like, I don't even like making reels. Like, thank God Streamer does it for me. Oh, I signed up for Restream, right?
Yeah.
The camera thing. I'm having issues with the camera because
No.
StreamYard has the smoothing filter. The only thing I need, like, it makes a difference. Like, you can tell. Like, if I don't have it on, you can tell. See, look at the difference. And that's
Oh,
only,
I see, I
and
see.
I'm so freaking picky like that. And like, I tried to
Yeah,
download all these other cameras and they weren't working. I'm like, so I paid for Restream and I still have fucking StreamYard. And I want to just forget about it and just not care.
she is
But
gorgeous.
thank you. I appreciate you. This looks like I got my Botox and my fillers. It just makes it look like I got them like touched up when I haven't. You know what I mean? Like it's actually, I don't feel like, I mean, I don't have the money to go right now.
Hey, you got you whatever you got, whatever you can do,
Listen, I
do it.
know, like
You know what I'm saying?
I've managed to make it much. My beauty routine is husband doesn't have to pay for it. Like my tanning bed's already here. I don't have to pay for tanning. It's in the house. I do my own hair, I do my own makeup. The only thing that's expensive is my hair. But that's the only thing that I spend money on, really, like a lot of money on, is my fucking hair. Because
Yeah.
I don't like to wash them, so I just get, you know what I mean?
When I used to do my weaves, I used to get before I locked, I used to do weaves all the time.
Yeah.
And I
I
was
used to
fancy
go
myself some Silky Straight number 27 mixed with
oh my
33
god.
and some 1B.
Yes.
And so for those who know, like the
Yeah.
27 is the blonde, the
27.
33 is the auburn,
Yep.
and the 1B is the like brown black, So I
Yep.
would do that for myself and have it
This is
nice and silky straight and the wave here and the curl there. Yes,
oh,
darling.
yeah.
Every 2 weeks like clockwork. Every
Yep.
2 weeks. I was like, at the beauty supply, give me that pack,
Mhm.
that pack, Tony.
I went to
Okay, Tony.
the Dominican ladies in Woodbury, a town, a couple of towns over, and they would when I would get them weaved, and I used to get them sewn in. Like when I first started getting them done, like 10 years ago, I would get them sewn in, and I would have to go every 5 weeks. Then I started to around my wedding, I started to tape them in. Fucking, just my hair is still destroyed from tape. Don't ever tape extensions in your head. They don't come out, and it ended up over the summer because I'm always in
Tape.
school. What time is it?
What? No, what kind of tape?
It's well, I don't whatever they put onto the extensions, but it's literally it's like I don't know, it's Gorilla Glue. It's so you can't get it off, okay? And I
No.
got it done in the summer because my wedding was in June. Well, all
Hmm.
summer I'm putting my hair up wet, and I still have the extensions in. It started to mat the glue going to bed with a wet head. The glue started to mat, and
Yeah.
my girlfriend took 16 hours to get them out of my fucking head, and it tore. I still have bald spots from this fucking tape. The tape gets very when it gets wet, it gets very like it gets loose. I'm telling you, don't ever tape them in. I'll look on the website and tell you what the brand is. But yeah,
Hmm.
the number I get 27 1B 27 4 is the
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yay.
then the dark 1B. I don't get
Yeah.
dark brown, I get 1B, which is like light black or something. Because my
Mhm.
hair is actually dark, but and it's really
Right.
short. My hair's really short. It's like my hair's to here. I have like
A nice
short
bob. I
hair.
bet you look good with a bob and your glasses. I bet that's like a sexy library lady kind of look.
It's really short. Yeah, everybody says, "Oh, you should wear your hair short. You should wear your hair." No, my hair's way too short. I can't even say it's really short, and there's not a lot of it. Like I'm telling you, the tape ripped my fucking hair out. But I'm telling you, like I love my extent. I don't know. I don't ever get like I
I
don't think
agree, Lady
anybody.
Virgo.
I know I love her. Thank
I think
you.
that's I don't why is everybody so shocked? Are they pretending like she's using this for a storyline? Like we
No,
didn't already
really,
know it?
that's
I don't know.
crazy.
I feel like
We didn't
her
even know about it. I was just saying last week what we didn't know why she was there. I said I don't know what. Oh my god, you scared the crap out of me. My cat scared me. I didn't know why she was there. She was there for something serious, and I was like, I wonder why she's there. I didn't know it was because of her mom, so I don't think she was using it for a storyline. She's been on a
yeah,
healing journey, like she was with Merce in a Purse last year. So she's going
right.
around making sure that she's at peace with everyone. Hi, sweet
Her
soul.
and her mom haven't been
Yeah,
close, so you're right. It hasn't been anything new with her and her
no,
mom, but that's why she went, was to
right.
say that moving forward, she would like it to be
Yeah,
different. That's what
yep.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was nice.
She's on a
I
journey.
love a good down home
Yeah,
grits at a round table kind of meal. And she was like, oh, you got to put, first he was like, oh, I have to wait for her to set the table. And then he set the table and then she's like, take these away. Take them.
no, I know. And well, I mean, it's not like it's nothing new with her, but I've only heard her talk about her mom a couple times. But I'm saying it's like her going there is the first time I've ever even, I didn't think we'd ever even meet her mom. You know what I mean? I didn't. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Did you hear about Teddy?
Yeah, she had that brain surgery. She has tumors in her
More
brain,
than yeah, more than
and she had surgery. And then Tamra
what
went
happened?
on and announced that she was going to be taking a leave. Tamra announced that
Oh my
Teddy
god.
was taking a
So,
leave from the podcast due to the brain surgery and that we all should be praying.
is she okay? Like, all right. So I want to
I
see
don't
if
know.
she,
The surgery happened today, and then
it's today.
Tamra said that we need to be praying.
I know. Listen, I want to see what they say because I
Bless her heart.
well, I'm devastated for her. This is
Yeah,
devastating. I know that it's not usually a very good All right, let me see what they say. This is let me pull it up so you guys can see. I just pulled up whatever this latest story was.
yeah. Those
Um,
Reba moms are like a version of a tiger mom, you know? There's
yeah,
Reba moms, there's tiger moms, there's hover moms, there's you know what I mean?
yeah,
There's
right.
cushion moms, there's all kind of moms. And we get to have the journey and experience for us.
Yeah,
Um, and then when we get to a certain age, just like Sutton, should we have the opportunity to like talk to the person who you feel has impacted your life in a way that you would like it to be different? Like, I
yeah,
think that's beautiful. I think that was a beautiful lesson and go for it. And don't be afraid to um, talk to your loved ones about you might have been accepting not getting talked to or getting talked to a certain kind of way
yeah,
or not being supported the way that you need support. But then again, now you mention it and let them know you need it and then allow them to show up for you, you know? So she
yeah.
showed us that was a lot of courage, I felt.
Yeah, definitely. Did you hear? Did you see what? I'm listening to, but like I'm shocked right now. She said she shaved her head. Oh my god. I guess she had to. Oh my god. This is so devastating for her. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, my sister had a brain. She had a brain aneurysm, and that was
Oh
the
my
worst
God.
thing she'd ever been in. And this must be. Oh my god. So anyone who posted a photo, Arroyo posted a son of Cruz. Or sorry, I'm sorry. Edwin Arroyo shared a message about his strange wife, Teddy. Thank God he's there for her. Mountain camp after her brain surgery. Aurelio also posted a photo of her son Cruz, 10, one of the three kids he shares with Mountain Camp, holding a sign, heart-shaped card with the words "Feel Better" written in the center of it. Cruz's classmate is for Teddy Mountain Camp. Oh, look how little he is.
Oh,
Oh,
he looked
that's
just like his daddy.
yes, he
Well, he
does.
looks like a good mix of them both, actually.
Yeah, he's so young. Cruz's classmate is for Teddy Mountain Camp. This is
Oh,
MSN.
bless his heart. Teddy
Um,
has 1.1 million followers. Go, Teddy. Get
Let's see,
busy.
multiple brain tumors, which they believe have been growing for 6 months. Holy fuck, dude. For the last
Why
several
would they
weeks,
just be growing for 6 months?
well, she didn't know. For the last several weeks, I've been dealing with severe and debilitating headaches. My aunt had that. Yesterday, the pain was unbearable and required hospitalization. After a CT scan and MRI, doctors found multiple tumors on my brain, which they believe have been growing for 6 months. Two of the tumors will be surgically removed today. The remaining smaller tumors will be dealt with via radiation. What the fuck? I am blessed to be surrounded by my children, family, doctors, nurses, surgeons who are doing everything possible to get me back into better health. This is awful. We gotta pray for
No
her.
way.
She doesn't
Over
sound
the
good.
last 6 months, how long has she been
This
separated? Has it been about 6 months?
December 8th, December they got
Oh,
no
was
two.
it just December? No, that's not 6 months.
Two of the tumors. Okay, I already read that part. Sorry, would you possibly? Wow. Okay, so Mellencamp, who
She
announced
announced in November, yeah.
chronicled her trip to the hospital while she waited for the surgery. Wow. I didn't know that. In a series of deleted updates on her Instagram story, her first post said she was waiting for a Rive or whatever his name is, and their kids. Cruise Slate 12. Oh my God, 12 and 4. Oh, Cruise Slate 12 and Dove 4. Oh my fucking God. She still has that little, I forgot she had a baby. Oh my God. She also quoted her father, singer John Cougar Mellencamp. As my dad said this AM, God only gives hard stuff to those of us can handle it. It's a hard day, but I have faith in amazing surgeons, and I hope that they're not cancerous. Or my neighbor is living with a brain tumor. They can't take it out. She's lives with it. I have amazing surgeons and everything will be okay. She said She also shared a video of herself. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. Holy fuck. So I'm sorry, I should have trigger warned this, guys.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Teddy.
She probably had to. Teddy Mellencamp showing her before surgery. In her last post, this is awful. In her last post before surgery, she turned to the camera to show RHOBH co-star Carl Richards and her other friends in her hospital room. Here we go. How many minutes? What's the countdown? This is so fucking sad. She asked before multiple people said she had 10 minutes of surgery. She was put this on. Mellencamp's revelation about her tumors came more than a week after she posted a photo of a long scar on her back. Oh my god, I didn't know. What the
What?
fuck? She had melanoma that bad? I didn't fucking know that. I didn't know it was that fucking bad.
What? They had to take what? Why is that like
Yeah,
that?
it's skin cancer. Fuck, man. I didn't know it was that fucking
So
bad.
the cancer was in that pattern?
I don't know if it's the same cancer, but it could be like I
Um,
don't know if that. My mom had two different types of cancer too, but it was world cancer. Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! Oh my god, Teddy! What a shame. I'm like,
bless her heart.
I recently shared a full melanoma. Oh my god, I didn't know she went through that. I mean, I don't pay attention to her. That's why. But like, I mean, as much as I can't, I talk shit. This is horrible. I don't want this for anybody. I feel so horrible for her. I feel horrible for her kids. Can you imagine? Oh, I
Oh, it
can't.
was numerous.
Yeah, finally finally got the report back from the oncologist. Final report is all good, but that's a fucking. I mean, I've seen people have my other friend's husband, his whole face, they had to remove base part of his face because of the skin cancer. He ended up dying, but oh my god, I didn't realize that she had that scar like that. So yeah, oh wow, I'm grateful. You never know you have a brain. See, I always like say if I have a headache, I have a brain tumor. I swear I always have a brain tumor. You know what I mean? And like you wouldn't even know it. I am forever grateful to my incredible doctors, nurses, family, and friends. She added, I absolutely will be diligent. Oh God, Teddy, I'm so sorry, man. This is fucking nuts. She was diagnosed with melanoma in 2022. And if she went through it, treating it till 2023, my fucking God. And believe she had a dozen or more melanomas this past September. She underwent surgery to remove it. 16.
Oh my God.
And I tan every day. I've tanned every day since I was probably 18. I've never had spots or anything. I mean, I know if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. But Jesus Christ, Teddy, I'm sorry. Damn. I knew you had that, but I didn't realize that melanoma like that. My God.
Bless her heart.
Oh God. No,
Well,
nobody
at
just.
least she gets to live with Kyle, and Kyle will take great care of her, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't think she is now. She's probably not. She's probably living with her husband. I'd imagine she's back probably with her husband. I mean, I would think
Yeah,
maybe.
Morgan was there at the surgery, they said.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah,
Kyle, come on, man. She had Kyle.
but Garcelle's an asshole for telling her to just
I
be a
know
lesbian.
exactly. Like it's like in your, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, Teddy, I love her to death. I can't. I'm not gonna say anything bad about her anymore. I feel bad now. Like I actually talk
Yeah,
shit.
I'll ease up off her because yeah,
Mhm.
but she has like a lot of opinions where you think
Well,
like you can just talk shit back to her, but she's going through it.
yeah. And my big mouth. I didn't realize what the story was, and I'm like, oh, stop. I said, stop making fetch happen. And then I realized, and then I posted that, and then I read the story. I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, delete, delete, delete. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, who's trying to make fetch happen? Please, can you please just get her off my screen? And I was like, oh, I look like a real fucking asshole. Let me delete that real quick. Oops. But the first thing I ever say is like, Jesus, fetch is not happening, people. Get her, like, go away. Her and like, who the other refused to be fired? Her and Tamara, they just refused to be fired. But now she's, that's a shame. That really makes you reevaluate your life, huh? Fuck.
Oh yeah, completely.
Like,
I
I'm pretty sure
mean,
she's not fucking with Kyle at this point. I would
that
imagine
is
like living with her back with her husband. I don't know. Like, I
that's
can't
enough
see.
to make you just call the people that you need to call and
Yep.
for you to go after all the dreams you need to go after and do that talent inside of you that you've been itching to do
Well,
because
that's
you could be a healthy workout everyday person, your ideal everything, and then
I'll tell her
I
that.
don't know. Everything's blowing up for her. She got caught in the barn with old boy. She had to leave her marriage. She has the melanoma. She has these freaking things. And that's just an example of not only like persistence and tenacity, like keep going, but
Mm-hmm.
that anything can happen at any moment. So you should really be doing all
Yeah,
you can to live your most happy, best life.
that's what we've come to realize. Or we're trying to. That's what I think my mom ended up doing. I really do think after she's had it 4 times and she had a scare just recently, and now she's healthy. And I really feel like she just looked at her life. No, Dad, if you're listening, you know I've said this a million times, and she just wasn't willing to. She's like live the rest of her life unhappy, and she left after almost 40 years. And we're like, what the fuck was? We thought she was literally had a brain tumor. We're like, this is she's a completely different person, my mom, than we thought. But like after now, looking back and listening to her and talking to both my parents, now it's obvious why she left. But I mean, we never in a million years would have thought. But we think it's because she was sick so just recently 3 times, and then like 2 years went by, and then just we thought she had it again just recently, and she didn't. She ended up not having anything. She was fine, and then she's like, that was it. Like she just checked out of life, and actually she didn't because we had no idea she was. It's just it's crazy. I still can't even. It's been a couple months, and we all sit. Me, my dad, my sister still look at each other like, "What the fuck is happening? Like, where, like, Anne Marie? Where's my mom? Like, where are you? Like, what? Can you please give me my mom back?" But I mean, I said that at first, but now it's like now I get it a little bit more. But
Ooh, and speaking of Tamra, remember we were on your thing here
nobody,
talking
yeah,
about the Real Housewives of the OC. And
shit.
I was like, Tamra and Eddie about to get divorced. And allegedly, there's all these things talking about divorce talks now with Tamra and Eddie. Do you think they're true?
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, because watching them on that show, watching them back, we didn't get to see anything. They didn't show their life at all. So to me, that means
Hmm.
they're not present with each other. They're not like hanging out and doing things together. Her and Eddie, but I could definitely see them growing apart because I think he was a rebound kind of like I don't know. He came and I don't.
He came in
I,
so hot, and no, he didn't come in hot. He was looking hot in that bathtub scene with the candles with
but that,
Tamra when we got introduced to old Latin lover Eddie.
oh yeah, back then. Oh
Remember?
yeah, she was hot. She was
Hmm.
hot too. She was the hottest housewife. She was the
Hmm.
hottest housewife when I say. She still is hot for her age. Like I just don't want to see her 60. Like I don't mind seeing her body, but not on our TVs, not on the show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I do think that like maybe I don't know. Maybe they just grew apart because she's a Tamara's. She's probably like hard to live with. I would think she's never wrong. So imagine being with somebody who's never wrong. And then the way she acted at that dinner, more than alcohol, definitely. I know. Well, so did Teddy. Left of the rumors about her and her husband too. And Teddy's the accountability coach. She still did it. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't blame. I mean, listen, if they grow apart, they grow apart. But after what happened in my family, nothing shocks me. Nothing should ever surprise me with a divorce or anything. Honestly, like I am still feeling like I'm in a different universe than I was a year ago. Like I feel like the timeline I was on a year. I don't know. Everything in my life outside of my house has completely been turned upside down. Crazy. All the people, it's completely turned upside down, which is crazy. And it's like, and actually feels almost like it should have been like this, and this is how it was supposed to be, which is fucked up to say, but I don't know. I don't know who's watching, but it's like it feels like we were on one timeline 30 or 40 years ago, and then we got off of it, like accident maybe or something. I don't know. And then had this last 40 or 50 years with our family, and then like I don't know, and then like we went back. I don't know. It's just so strange because of the people that are involved that were in my life when I was younger. They're back there again. It's like I don't understand what's happening, but it's just fucking unbelievable. So nothing shocks me with anybody getting a divorce at this point. Because I would have
Right.
my everybody in my parents like as much as my mom said I'm fucking leaving him. I fucking hate him. We didn't believe her, and
Hmm.
nobody thought she would ever leave. And literally everybody's still shocked. It's like now. I mean, I don't know. I love you, Dad. It just sometimes it's like he's. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes like it doesn't matter what you do for somebody or how much you give them or what it love. Sometimes it's just not enough. My mom didn't want everything. She wanted I think my mom wanted more emotional. She says emotional abandonment, but he just looks at it like, I gave you everything, you should be happy. And that's basically the crux of it, with a whole bunch of other crap around it. But like, that's basically the two main things is he doesn't
There's like
understand.
feelings involved though, so
I mean,
there's
yeah,
still feelings. You
my
know what
dad,
I mean? Like
my mom
there's
hates
stuff and then there's feelings.
she hates him. She hates him. Absolutely hates him. Unfortunately, I didn't think she did, but
Mm-hmm.
and I don't. But I don't see how you be like how the way she is being is just. Plus, she says it, and we didn't see it. Me and my sister think, oh my god, we thought she was an angel, but she's really a sociopath. Not. I'm sorry, mom. It's just so fucked up. Like nothing surprises me. You would never think this sweet old little lady would be. Oh man, it's fucked up. It's crazy. But she just wanted to be happy, and we thought that she was, and she wasn't. And now I don't know. My dad will never get it. We tried, and I can't really explain to him because I get it, but it's hard to explain to him. And so he doesn't see that he doesn't need to change, but he probably, I don't know. We'll never know if he was going to change because she didn't give him the chance to change. So she didn't say shit to him. I think she started
Right.
10 years ago. I think about 10 years ago, my mom started to like check out, but we didn't see it. But it's weird now. Now looking back, it's like makes sense, right? But like at the time, you think of all these weird things that are, like happen. We don't think about like, oh, this could have been happening, but like it really. Imagine, I don't know. I don't know. It's just fucked up. But is it after an hour? Yeah, it was 2 hours. Okay, sorry. Yes, Rick Gretchen's coming back. Sorry, we keep getting on our sidetracks. But listen, like these shows, like I talk about these shows because my life is so weird. So like, it's always like there's something always happening. But like I feel like it gives me like the life experience. I talk about these housewives and their lives, but I feel like I have at least some, not a hypocrite, but like, I try to explain their behavior or try to understand it. And it's always relates back to something in my life or somebody. But yeah, Gretchen's coming back. I'm excited for Gretchen. I didn't like her at first the first time, but then now I do. I like
her and Slade. Her and Slade coming back? And they have a baby now too, right?
Yeah, Slade Smiley is back. I cannot fucking believe it. I'm actually excited because her and Tamara don't like each other. Like Tamara told her dying husband that she was cheating on him back. Gretchen was cheating on her, the guy that died. I forget his name. Allegedly.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Yeah, that's what her and Tamara fight. They never made up after that. I mean, they tried, but
Tamara to put those rumors around, or even put that truth out. Like Tamara's foul.
Yep. She's like, well, your husband's dying in the hospital, and you're out with this guy on a boat or something. And Gretchen, like, it was just like crazy, because whatever Gretchen was with that guy, it was her business. Like by that time, we knew what was up with her and that guy, but he was dying, that poor man. And then,
can we get a shout out to caregivers who want to take the time and allow them to take the time? Like when you're a caregiver of a person who you love, who's sick, you should not be persecuted for going on a girls' trip on your new job.
Exactly.
Like, what was that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And he wanted her to be happy. He told her, go be happy, Like Gretchen had a lot of respect for that guy. And whatever their relationship was, he was okay with it. And so was she. And it was sad that he was dying. But again, Slade Smiley is just he's like a character. He's not even like a human to me. He's like this side character that I just think of him as like this creepy little John Jansen type guy. I don't like Slade. I don't like the way he's treated Vicky as much as I can't stand Vicky. I just don't like somebody that calls a person ugly or like calls another woman a pig or ugly or Miss Piggy or like, you know what I mean? And he's just somebody who like literally slid into everybody's, what? Lori, Joe, how are you getting in and out of the store? Just come here. Literally, like he's worse than John Jansen. Everybody that acts like him, I call them Slade. And I literally in my intro to my YouTube, it says at the bottom, I've been talking about Bravo since Slade was the seventh housewife. Literally, he's the seventh housewife. And it'll be good. Gretchen will come back because they want her to go after Tamara, but she probably won't. They'll probably start out with Gretchen and her having a talk, and she might even I hope she stays on Shannon's side, or I hope she joins the left couch and not the right couch. You know what I mean? I want her to join that. This is Slade's third time around. I know. He literally, I remember when I guess it was his son had brain cancer, and I think he did pass away. But I also remember him like really being affected by it. And they say that he was like, something was shady about it. Like he did something with the money that they raised for his son. I don't know. People were really putting out some awful things about him, and that to me is like totally separate than why I just think he's a slimy user. But with his son, I really did feel like he loved like his son. I really thought, what the fuck is happening? Who is that? Right. Whoever's fucking with me, please stop. No, I don't like peekers and shit. Like I can't stand them if I see dead people. Stop at my door. Like, it's freaking me out. It's actually freaking me out at this point. And like, there's nobody here except for the cat, and nobody else is opening my. They should have brought Kelly. Kelly will never come back. Literally this morning, listening to. I don't know if you listen to her and Rick in the morning. Sometimes they were live this morning. Everybody tells her, she's like, no fucking way. She told Gretchen to say no. She told her.
I bet if the money was right, Kelly would be back on our screen, and I hope so. They always talk crap until they get asked. But let her get asked, and she might change her story.
Well, think about it. They're on now. She's on YouTube and she's live a lot. She has more views on there, and she's getting her like more popularity through Bravo being on a live like YouTube. She does YouTube. I really think that those women should literally take advantage of what keeps them relevant throughout the seasons, which is us, the podcasters and the YouTubers, and seeing and being engaged with Kelly. She's got an amazing Patreon. She has a bunch of like I follow her, and she's one of the only people I'll pay for her Patreon. But her and Rick, like getting to see them on, in their house, like just being live, like she's live, and then she's a nutcase. She's literally like me, ADHD. It's like the most insane thing. This morning, she was actually getting shit for like literally. She was all over the place. But Kelly died. But she said never again. She told Gretchen it's not worth it. She said it ends up costing them money, and the very couple. Yeah, I mean, not really at this point. Like, I don't know if you probably don't watch them. They're so different than what I thought. I was one of those people that set off with her head. But getting to watch her on, YouTube and getting to know them as a couple, they're definitely way better doing it the way they're doing it. He does this Newsmax thing every day. So he's talking about the news and stuff at one point at Newsmax 6 on YouTube. But yeah, like getting to know her live and just watching her like in real life, she's so much different. Like she was basically super problematic on the show. Yeah, that's definitely. I don't even remember them. See, I don't remember. I kind of remember them being together on the show, but I remember thinking like, what a dick. But then now I think he's amazing. I read his whole book and everything, but yeah. And Kelly can go after camera in real life. She doesn't need the show. You know what I mean? And they do actually. She went to dinner with Simon Barney just to get like shit on camera. And Simon called her. And I was like, I can't remember if she ever told. I got to check the Patreon. I was waiting for that info about Tamara. Whatever he wanted to tell her, he wanted it to get out about Tamara, her ex-husband, which I thought was wild that he would even do that at his old ass age. Simon Barney reaching out to Kelly Dodd, knowing that everybody's going after, oh my God, what a wild, I got to ask them. I forget. I got to figure out the information. If they went to dinner with them, they might have did an episode about it. I might have missed it. I forgot. She's so funny. Yeah. It's like her, I guess call it a podcast. It's just her YouTube channel. Yeah, Rick and Kelly show on Patreon, yeah. But yeah, so you just don't like them. Okay, well then I guess yeah. She's a nut, dude. It makes me feel better about my ADHD on here. I even said that. I'm not shaming you. I like them now too. Like I end up starting to really like watch them and really like them. And even though they're just like all over the place like me, I guess that's maybe why I like her. Because I'm like, oh shit. Like I'm actually just, I can see what people get annoyed with because I get annoyed. I was annoyed with her this morning watching her live. Somebody was there in the kitchen and it was real loud and Rick kept telling her to sit the fuck down. And she's like, I know, I can't. And I'm like, oh God. And it was hard to watch actually. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, that's what I look like sometimes. But anyway, guys, I don't want to go. I gotta go.
Yeah, I like Kelly and Rick. I fancy their podcast at times. I don't mind her. No, I don't mind her. I bet she is a problem. She can be a problem. I don't know, in a good trouble kind of way. She's entitled to it.
Yeah, she has come. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of people talk about this.
Is she anti-LGBTQIA? What does she say about them?
Just about kids, not adults. She has a very strong opinion about the way that
Not indoctrinating children before they're of adult age. Yeah,
yes,
as a parent, I agree. I'm sorry.
I've
As a
been listening
parent,
to the politics about it too. I know, sorry, but like I'm just saying with this comment right here, I know I hear her opinions, and I don't agree with that part of it, but I'm also on the other side. Like I'm on the, you know, who I voted for.
I
So
just, my position isn't about
yeah,
the L and the G and the B and the T and the Q and the I and the A. My
yeah,
position is about children being children. And I mean, you're not even teaching sex education to be wanting to tell my kid about alternative, sexual
yeah,
lifestyles. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I don't agree with it.
it's about a balance. It's about a timing, and it's about
Her
subject
delivery,
matter. As a
yeah, her
parent,
delivery,
you have a right to be like, I might not want to introduce my kid to that right now, just like you wouldn't take your kid to an R-rated movie if you didn't feel like it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I don't think that that makes me anti anything. I think it makes me pro raising my child how I feel is best without it being about an anti anything. It's about wait till you're
respect.
that age. Wait till, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. I get it. I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, but I guess there's only one show. This girl Jazz. Her name's Jazz. I forget her last name, but she's transgender. But she did it literally since she was. Her parents, like gave her the hormones and all that since she was like a child. Like she never
Yeah,
even.
that's crazy to me.
But I watched the whole show. I watched her like the journey of getting her surgeries, and she said she was 1,000. She's like I always was a girl. Like I mean, that part I'm like, okay, so she knew. So then I feel like maybe there's other kids like that, but like you said, they probably should wait. I mean, I agree, wait until they're 18 at least, until they're adults. But
Yeah, until their mind is at least formed. I mean, I could think I'm a unicorn right now. Is there a
yeah,
surgery to help that happen?
exactly. I'm Snow White, right? Like I think
Right.
that's true. Yeah, I know. Her delivery is
I
so
just
rough.
feel like it's a little, I don't know. And it's like, God knows what God is doing most of the days. So why this day is it different?
True, true. Um, yeah, she definitely would be able to. She would the way she is now. Like she's just really outspoken, and it's. I guess she would definitely be on the show. With Bravo would never entertain it. Plus that asshole John Hill, Andy's best friend. Her and John Hill they battle because he's a dick. He calls her all kinds of names, fat bitch, cunt, everything. He called her all kinds of names, literally. Like in on Twitter, So yeah, she's going to ChumpCon now, which I didn't even know there was such a thing. Apparently there's ChumpCon, which is Jeff Lewis's Chumps, and that's like a big thing that I didn't know about.
Jeff Lewis, the Jeff Lewis?
Yeah, and I think I heard that his live show was no longer live any longer. Like Sirius took the video away or audio, or it's just audio now or something. I don't know if I
Why
heard
would
that.
they have done that? I like just.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're punishing him. If I heard that right, or if they're punishing him, we do. Like me, like I consider I'm definitely mentally
For
ill.
going after Bryn Whitfield allegedly, that was a lie.
But I don't know why. I don't know why they did it. Seriously, I don't know if they did it for him or they did it with everybody. But I like a live show. Like listening to is one thing, but I like to watch too. I feel like engaging with everybody, and even though he's like live and he's not engaging with the audience, it's nice to watch somebody talk live and see them too. Because I don't know. I don't know if they're doing it as a punishment or like what, but it's weird to me because I didn't think there's anything wrong with it to fix it. Like it wasn't broken, unless they considered him broken. I don't know. He was kind of taken over serious a little. Dundee Estimere. Oh, they're here, aren't they? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of mentally ill people, but I feel like, right, I just hope that everybody's starting to actually cheer, like, instead of just fixing the symptoms and just keeping yourself sick, we've been doing that for way too long in this country, and we need to actually fix what's wrong. With whatever, I mean, whether it's like, I don't believe that my bipolar is going to be here. Like, I don't think that I should have been on medicine for 15, 20 years to just, I don't know, not deal with my shit. That's what it was doing. You know what I mean? Like now that I'm not on it anymore, I've actually dealt with like the dark soul, like dark night of the soul, I call it. But it wasn't until I stopped taking the medicine that I actually dealt with my issues. And then they're still there, but I mean, I know I'm much more self-aware of it. I don't self-medicate.
Right.
Like I'm not a drug addict, a self-medicator. in that way. Jesus Christ, I can't stand this. I'm telling the spirits to stop fucking with my door, and they're not listening. And it's not 2:30.
It's rattling a lot.
Babe, is that you? Maybe it's my husband.
Yes. I did a thing on that yesterday. Listen, honey.
What would happen? Yeah.
Anne-Marie Wiley,
Yeah.
8.5 from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last season.
Yeah.
She was at the reunion in March 2024. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, her and her husband had said some things about, trans people not being able to perform in the other sports, and she received some backlash for that. And then she said some things on the show. Well, also on the show, I swear I remember, and us doing a whole live on it, where she got her ass in that confessional and said she was practically a doctor. Yeah. Because it was just the same. The nurse anesthesiologist and the doctor were just the same. I could swear that's what she said, something that left me believing that's what she just said. She said some reference to it was very similar, the same training. It was something was the same. Remember? Well, then remember the ASA and the CRNA, because she's a CRNA, you guys, a certified registered anesthetist nurse or something like that. And the other one is American Society of Anesthesiologists, which are doctors. So remember her and Crystal Minkoff, no relation to Rebecca from the flop of a season in New York. Nope. Her and Crystal Minkoff, it got into it last season, and Crystal was like, well, you said you were a doctor before, and you're not a doctor. And she was like, and remember Anne-Marie tried to turn it around and say that Crystal was attacking her
she's
profession or something like that.
I never said.
She was like, no, you literally said you were a freaking doctor, and you're not. You're a nurse. It's not the same. And then the Anesthesiologists Association came out and put a list of what it takes to be them and a list of what it takes to be what Anne-Marie really is. And we're like, there's no difference. You should not intentionally misrepresent titles or something like that, they said. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, she sued their ass, you guys.
I thought she was. I don't know she was.
She sued the ASA for interjecting, and she says that they defamed her by saying what Crystal said. She said, which was, she's like, I never said it. I never said it. And for you to interject yourself as this place makes me, to this day, I'm getting backlash. Well, we're in freaking February, right? And so she posted on her Instagram yesterday that she was suing them for defamation because there's no place in our work thing for blah, blah, blah. And it came to her, she wasn't going to say anything, but it came to her attention that the ASA has gone public with her suit against them. So she decided to say that, yes, it's happening. So then you go over to the American Society of Anesthesiologists suit. To their website. And sure enough, under news releases, from January 18th, 2025, they posted ASA being sued by former reality star from Beverly Hills, Anne-Marie Wiley.
Really, but see, I already thought we knew that she was suing them. She already said that like a long time ago. So that's why I'm like, why is this new news? We already knew that. Like, I remember her saying that she was going to sue them.
I didn't think she actually went through with it. Who sues somebody for having an opinion? And it was the truth. It's not the same. She did imply that it was the same. She did it. She had a separate confessional where she further implied it was the same. And whether or not she said it, the implication was clear. And they're just saying that, you need to be clear in your title and don't blur the line.
Did she win?
Crazy. No, they're going to litigation in March, I believe. I think it said something about March.
Why did she wait so long? That's weird.
Huh?
Why did she wait this long?
Exactly. I don't know.
I'm still trying to be relevant. I haven't heard of. Oh, you know what? I did see her husband on a podcast somewhere.
He has a YouTube channel and a podcast.
Yeah, I was like, check. And then seeing him you see him a little bit differently. I was like, oh, he's kind of he admits he did stuff. He's kind of I don't know, not an anomaly to me now. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, he's a real person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she just seems so like, I don't know, not who she
She had a
really
lot going on that season. Remember, we found
did.
out that her mom had passed, and
Yeah,
and that's why she talked about the Sutton's esophagus so many times. Well, that was her excuse. It didn't match, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I feel like, I mean, I don't know, they had a couple, like, they were trying to bring in another housewife, more housewives, but they were like failing because we had Diana fail. We had, what's her name, fails. The chick, the crazy one on the other one, the one after Heather. I forget her name,
I
Noella.
like the mix on there now. I like the housewife cast right now.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at Kyle being there. If they stop, as long as we don't focus on her, I like to get into what's going on with Dorit and PK. I want to know what's going on with Eric and her mom. Like, I want to see Garcelle and her son. What's going on with his new child and new wife? Like
Oh,
Boz and
that's
her,
going to be cute. Yeah.
Rose's daughter. I love her. I love that
And
relationship.
Bo's rebuilding on the beach.
And oh my God, that's I don't know if I heard this right, but there was a contractor guy or somebody. He said maybe him and like maybe 5 other major big contractors were going to try to, you know, get together and like, rebuild all that land for the people that, that have, their homes and stuff. And I thought it
Yeah.
was actually not a bad idea. Like, cause I'm like, how are they ever going to do this? But if a contractor comes in, a bunch of them, major big ones, and takes over each, like, you know what I mean? And says, I'll build this for you guys. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought, wow, that would actually work.
Dr. Manuel's here.
Hey, Manny, can we borrow Meredith Marks to tell
Manny,
8? We
we were
can
just
borrow
talking about your girl, 8.5.
8.5
Did you
is.
see she's suing the ASA?
Oh, we
You okay,
got the new
baby?
Teddy. She's the new Teddy. Teddy, we can put a pin in Teddy's. We got to put her on we're going to put Teddy's on the left side of the couch now. We like her right now because we got to pray for Teddy. But now we can make her the new Teddy. 8.5. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, we call her to be the new 8.5. Meredith's an 8.5 too. Meredith's definitely an 8.5. You know what I mean? Like Meredith is definitely an 8.5. She can tell her to leave. You can leave. She's a freaking psycho, isn't she? So wait, now that Salt Lake's over, what's replacing it? Whoa, did anything come on?
It's finally getting Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay, so next
Or
week.
as I like to call it, the Real Housewives of the Titanic.
Oh wow, so we got to start covering it because I guess what, it starts next week, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Their trailer was weak. Dr. Heavenly had a point. I feel like their trailer was weak. It was like a fashion show, but it didn't like really give us any content. You know what I mean? It gave us fashion and looks, but it didn't like, how on Married to Medicine, it shows the guy getting yelled at and then chased down the beach. You know what I mean? Like that was content. Read.
When I started paying attention to when I was like, oh, I'll start watching now. It was when I don't know if it's the right show with the testing and stuff, and I was like, why are these grown ass adults drug testing each other? It was making me mad. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. I said, but I was like, I cannot believe it, and it was Kiki. You know what I mean? And it was that weirdo, what's his name? Martell.
Oh, Martell is such a freaking weirdo.
I ain't a lie detector, and I was like,
Community yes.
You can't do this lie detector shit. What do you think you're doing? Like, what are you talking about? You're not a lie detector, sir. You are not a lie detector. Your person is not a lie detector, you fucking weirdo. I'm like, who are these people? I'm like, explain to me, what are these people doing? And it was like, oh wow, I messed up. I mean, I started just watching the season and I was like, and that's where I got in on it. I was like, this dude is, and then I realized, because I was like, when I seen him on Atlanta with Sheree, I was like, oh, leave her alone. She finally meets somebody, right? I had no idea about him. I was like, leave him, he's cute. And I had no idea. They're like, everyone's like, no.
Phaedra did not show up to the reunion for Married to Medicine. She skipped the reunion.
Just recently?
They filmed it yesterday and she didn't show up.
She's stupid? Does she not want to be on the show?
Well, she's already under contract at a new place. She doesn't have to worry about fulfilling. From what I heard, she initially was under a 3-year contract. So she had only had 2 seasons completed. And her going over to Real Housewives of Atlanta, had it been an amicable split, it could have been the first time in Bravo history where she was on 2 shows simultaneously, like simultaneously, you know?
Dubai too, wasn't she on Dubai?
Nope, she left. She didn't go to the reunion. She left poor Sweet Tea and Contessa ass out. All that head pumping she did on them during the season, and then left them high and dry at the reunion. I heard that.
Where are the bodies buried? With Bravo, like where in her? Wait, so she's there. She under contract where now? So she's done with Bravo. Is basically
No,
right.
now she's over to Real Housewives of the Titanic. And the reason I call it that is
Oh,
because when
because she
Phaedra went
mm,
over to Real Housewives of Dubai
she needs to get
after
fired.
begging those ladies to be on her show, the people were like, "Oh, do you ever see yourself back on on Housewives of Atlanta?" She's like, "Why would I return to the Titanic?"
Well,
Remember? Well,
yeah,
she's back.
she's going. She's where are the bodies buried? Bravo. I mean, she's got to know where something's up. They take her back more than they take
Very up.
anybody back. Like she's been on more Bravo shows and walks the fuck out of it, walks away from them, and she wasn't even married to medicine. Was she even dating somebody that was a doctor, like a fake doctor? Like I don't get it. I don't
I don't
understand.
know if she has something on Bravo like I heard. Okay, I'm
I
gonna go in here. This is gonna okay.
make it
That
make it
sound
make,
is gonna stop.
make it make sense.
Allegedly, when Carlos King
Mm.
left Bravo, this is all allegedly. When
Mm-hmm.
Carlos King left Bravo, everybody thought it was because he told Phaedra Parks to say the lie about Portia, the dungeon, and Candy and Todd. And they both to this day, he says that didn't happen.
Mm. I would
Allegedly, he did not get let go from Bravo for that. He got let go from Bravo because he was trying to do a tell-all book on the Apollo and Phaedra situation. Like how they do how they're doing the behind the scenes on Diddy and all
right.
the other places. And
Yeah.
he allegedly was trying to do tell-all behind the scenes. I'm telling everything how you guys are really together on
Oh,
you in a book. And so then she allegedly went to Bravo and them and was like, you better not. And how dare he or something. And so then allegedly that's what got him fired. Allegedly, I don't know. Has anybody else heard that story? I heard that story.
hmm,
Black Hollywood reporter
hmm,
reported on that story recently.
hmm. I well, so allegedly he's the one who created. I always wondered where that came, why she said that, but I don't know. I didn't see. She doesn't even look the same. Is she on Ozempic? Phaedra,
I
geez.
like Palaver. I like Boz, and I like that Dorito has a friend. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like everybody else. I'm like, girl, let her do her own shit. You don't even know the stuff she started with us for you to be her guard dog right now. And yeah, she's going through something, but we all be going through stuff, girl. You're going to have to form your own opinion
Hmm.
and stop being a guard dog to Dorito right now. Let us get to know you. Let us get to know your fabulosity.
No,
You don't have to be a
she's being a friend. She's being a good friend. Somebody has to, like, honestly, one of them should have been sticking up with Dorit. Should have been taking Dorit's side with this. You know what I mean?
I feel
Who
like
did
she's done enough though. She has been. She does it every freaking episode when she's with
Dustin?
Dorito. She's taken up for her.
Dustin, I don't want anybody else in the studio. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I can't. I don't want. We have to have a talk, Dustin. So can you just? I'll talk to you later. Um, I'm getting mad right now. Like something happened and we're not talking. We weren't supposed to talk about it, but like that I'm getting really. I guess not. I don't want to say something that I don't. Somebody said something and lied, and we know it's a lie, and that person is. I don't want that person around. But I didn't have the chance to talk to that person yet, and if I do at this moment, I'm going to say something that I don't mean. Maybe I mean it, maybe I don't. I don't know. But a whole ass blatant lie about me and somebody else to another one of our friends. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, don't no we no lie.
No podcast
Lie
drama.
equals liability. If you'll lie on me, then what else will you do on me?
Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't fight with each other over here in our sector. Like, we
Yeah.
don't just break up. We're not toxic. We don't say the things that, you know what I mean? That definitely wasn't saying what I supposedly allegedly said. Like, the whole situation is completely made up, and I don't need that drama on this platform. Like, I've had enough shit in the last couple of years. Like, I'm trying to not be around that. Like, I don't want to be known as the drama person or somebody like the problem podcast or the angry blogger.
Right.
I mean, like, I would never. I don't know. It's weird. You
Well,
skip
you
me.
know,
I
it'd be
know.
different if Phaedra even added anything while she was on
That's not you.
um Married to Medicine. And she didn't even add anything except for fabulous wigs and smirks. She didn't add any words of wisdom. She did one-liners that always felt rehearsed. And what will they talk about now? The fact that she took till the week before the filming stopped in order to pay on a check that was written a month earlier. And the fact that she was the one that knew that Apollo was coming and that she's trying to play everybody like a mean girl when she's the one that says she knows the moves the people make and everything. And actually, I'm coming up with a new timeline. You want to hear it? Here it go.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, so we just found out that Apollo Nida is getting divorced from Shireen. She filed for divorce on February 7th. Hey, Emmanuel. She filed for divorce on February 7th, 2025. She cited in those paperworks that they had got married October 2022. And then they got separated a year later in November 2023. In March of 2024, she and him were all over the news because of the ring footage and the scuffle. And remember, he got arrested on DV or whatever, right? So then after that, they were still separated but living together. Then Phaedra's over here on Married to Medicine. Heavenly calls her, says, we're bringing on Apollo. How do you feel about that? Oh, girl, I already knew. He doesn't do anything without me knowing. He doesn't make any moves without me knowing. Then she said, well, I invited Shireen. And she's like, oh, he's not going to do that. He would never do that. Maybe she already knew they were separated as to why she thought that wouldn't happen. So then you fast forward to the couples trip, which happened in July of 2024. They got separated in November 2023. So that's like 8 months later. They're showing up at a couples trip after he was just in the scene at the vibe check party saying that he wasn't going to bring Shireen. But then Phaedra comes downstairs with Sheik, who we now know Sheik knows Shireen and Apollo and has been at their house for Thanksgiving because Sheik used to bone Shireen's sister. So yeah, so there's all of that connection too. And now we have them announcing a divorce. And I'm thinking, was it all a setup to create a contentious situation to give Phaedra an out of her contract on Married to Medicine, since now she was going to have an in over on Real Housewives of Atlanta? That's my theory, allegedly.
I'm not good with that because I'm so lost. I'm like, honestly, like I don't know why.
Curves. No, yes. Phaedra. What are they going to talk about at the reunion?
Send it to Manny. Send it to Manny, guys. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying to Curves, what are they going to talk about now at the reunion with no Faye?
Well, they'll talk about going to the White House. They'll talk about how the son is in dinner school. They'll talk about how the kids are finally cleaning up their own apartment. They'll talk about a lot. Phaedra didn't add nothing.
So there's nothing that she like avoid. Like they can't. I mean, because I would not let people sit there and like talk about my. She's not fighting with anybody. Then is anybody? What are they going to say about her? Anything like what's the damage?
She sort of has some beef with Quad, a little bit with Dr. Heavenly, and maybe the doctors. I don't know. So I'm a little disappointed though. I wanted her to show up. I wanted her to come with her lethal reads, but she didn't show up. So
why do you think she's so like entitled? It seems like
she's a quitter, and she didn't have anything to add during the season, and so she didn't want to have to explain all of her lies coming to the front, because Dr. Heavenly is truth. She said that Phaedra's a liar, and we saw it time and time again.
It's not
Phaedra's a liar, and she didn't feel like having to answer for some more lies. She left Real Housewives of Atlanta on some lies. She's leaving Married to Medicine on some lies.
But you know what, you guys? Some of the best have skipped reunions. Lisa Vanderpump, Mary Cosby, and now Phaedra.
Well, Phaedra, for some reason, thinks she's so entitled that she can just do that and go on to another show. I feel like that's fucking wild.
Well, I'm actually surprised because Dr. Heavenly did an interview the other day on a channel that we all know. And she said that she personally thought Phaedra would go because she said Phaedra's a professional woman. So,
right. Too. Like, it's very not classy.
But she also said that if she came, she was going to give it to her.
Okay, well, Welcome to Housewives. Welcome to Bravo. You signed up for
Right.
this. You're the one that's literally, she knows this game. So why are you going to be such a freaking, like, you look like an asshole. You literally, like, I think that's such a cop out to not just, like, and then you just go into another show and you're like, nobody, all that shit's not going to go away. All that drop, all the accusations are still going to be there about her. They're not going to go away just because she didn't show up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what's your point? Like, at least stick up for yourself. But now you don't have the chance. Like, now you're just like, we're looking at, like, what the hell? Like, you can't even
Now she just continue calling them liars.
Right. Instead of just going
because she didn't show up to tell her truth.
Exactly.
So now she gets to continue calling them liars. We get to hear a version of a truth. And so the questions remain.
Yep. Just like
I'm glad Sweet Tea went though, because I know she was kind of throwing the idea around that maybe she wouldn't go, but it looks like she did.
I hope they
pay attention. And what about that? What do you think about Faye leaving Sweet and Sour high and dry? All of that head pumping she been doing to Sweet and Sour all season, and answering her call and showing up, and she had Sweet and Sour thinking, oh, I'm there for you. And then she left Sweet and Sour by herself at the reunion when half the season that we've gotten from Sweet and Sour we know that Phaedra's behind the freaking key in her back. We saw it. And so you did all of that to this newbie who was already in flux in this relationship of ladies. And you come in here and blow her head up, wind her back up, and then leave, and then let her loose on the ladies, pump her head up some more till the end, and then leave her high and dry at the reunion. That's some messed up stuff.
It is. That's like, now I like don't like you again. Like now, because to me it's like I'll never look at Kendra. I'll never look at Kenya the same after the Bolo stuff. Like I just don't like women that tell other women like that. Even housewives or not, there's no way that you should talk about the Bolo stuff. That just made me turn off. And then like what Phaedra just did, like I can't even the first thing that we had to think about and deal with and not forgive her for, but like forget that she did that thing with Carlos and Candy and whatever. And then she comes back on the shows and now she just like fucking doesn't show up to a reunion. It's like that to us, we know how important that is. We don't like it's like that's just fucking like it's like walking out.
It's like you didn't even and then she gets so mad though. She seems to be very upset with people creating a fake narrative about her, but then she goes around telling all these lies and then just leaves a liar. She doesn't even.
It's Teresa Jr.
Okay, but let me try to defend Phaedra for a second.
Try to, Mr. Senate demanding lawyer man.
So we know that Phaedra is a type of person who's all about loyalty. And if she feels that in any way, shape, or form you're being disloyal, she would try to ruin your life, as she did with Candy. We saw that. The only reason she brought up all that stuff with Candy was because she felt that her best friend took her ex-husband's side. She was hiding stuff in the garage in line. So that's why she said what she said. With this Married to Medicine thing, maybe Curves knows more. Maybe she can clarify. But the way it kind of came across was, it's a new season. Phaedra said she helped bring the ratings, and then all of a sudden you got Quad and Heavenly trashing her in a lot of interviews and in radio shows.
When they go stick up for yourself.
Because she had already been found out. Well, behind the scenes right there, real quick, is because it had already been found out before the season started that between season 10 and season 11, Phaedra specifically spearheaded a Get Rid of Quad campaign. So now you're on press releases for the season that you ended up on, even though the person that you helped get on the show that you're on and have been on for 12 years or whatever it is, now you're on the show and doing press releases for it because the person whose job that she didn't take your job. So Phaedra, they made room for both of them. Phaedra did not take up Quad's space. You see what I'm saying? And now that you have to share space with Quad, she's a problem, you're a problem. But it all comes down to, we know that you tried to get me fired, bitch.
But Curves, we all saw season 10. We all saw Napa Valley. They all wanted her gone. Quad, that is. And I think Quad was on the outs. And if we're really gonna keep it real, I think she should be thanking Sweet Tea, but that's a different conversation. I think she should be thanking Sweet Tea that she still has her job. But the other ladies wanted Quad out too.
Well, specifically Simone and
Toya.
Toya have been on a rampage for Quad for many seasons. Jackie did not want Quad gone, but she was at the meeting. And you're right. The rest of the ladies, Contessa, I don't know if Contessa was in on the shits, but she was at the meeting. And Sweet and Sour was in on the shits most definitely at the meeting. And so they decided to not let that happen and band together with Quad. And that's why we see it playing out right now the way we see it playing out, with how it feels like there's an alliance. Because yeah, they decided that if these bitches are going to come, if these noobs are going to come to our show where we invited them freely, there was enough to go around here, but these people are coming over here acting up all kinds of different ways. Okay, everybody does shade. We all talk a little smack, but this is going too far, bringing my business into it to the point where I got to bring your husband's business into it, to now we in some old messy stuff. And there's no accountability being taken on the side of Sweet and Sour. And her freaking gaslighting, stonewalling husband is no help with his freaking gaslighting ass either. Neither one of them take zero any accountability. I'm like, we need to get her out of that relationship, toot sweet. But the alliance got formed because the ladies were like, if she'll do that to Quad, then what will she do to who's next? Is basically what happened. So the core five are remaining the core five in retaliation and warriorship, whatever you want to call it. They're standing up against the infiltrators who are trying to peg them off one at a time. You see what I'm saying? So you might have thought they weren't friends, but they friends enough to band together and ice your ass out.
But Curves, do you remember when Phaedra helped Quad when they planned that little resurrection at the funeral home?
Right.
You remember how disappointed Phaedra was at the end of that when she saw Quad was like taking no accountability? Something changed in Phaedra that day.
You're right. You're totally right. It was exactly that moment where she realized that Quad was going to remain on the outs with these ladies, and that since Quad was her in, that she was going to have to, it was pick a side time. And if she was going to try to be with the ladies, then it was, oh, bye, Quad. That was really Quad's wink to Phaedra. You know, you're right. That was the day. That was the day and the hour. Because then was the Napa trip where she canceled her flight that she was supposed to go with Quad, remember?
Oh,
so you're exactly right.
And she said she got to go to the CVS and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's like, oh, I pick up my own prescriptions on Tuesday. But yeah, I think that it's cowardly, and that even that post that she did, like, that's just more words out the side of your neck. You look great saying them. That blonde outfit with that blonde hair, with that fur, walking down the hard, cold streets, looking so hot and sultry. That was a good photo shot. And the caption that said, you're obsessed. There's no medicine for obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it said, you can't stand me. There's no medicine for obsession. But it's like,
it turned everybody down.
That's delusion. Because you're obsessed with lying and walking away from burning buildings. Like, that's what you're obsessed with.
But you see, when she posted that, because she posted that the day before the reunion, I thought that was like she was saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna show up." I that's what I took it as. I thought that's what she was trying to say. So then to find out the next day that she did show up, I was like, "Oh,
yeah, what happened?"
And then it looks like Dr. Mimi wasn't there. Well, maybe she just wasn't on the seating chart, but
yeah, maybe she wasn't on the seating chart. But I feel like, I don't know, I don't really like the seating charts on Married to Medicine at all. Like, I feel like I like the housewife style where you have to earn that first position. You have to have had engaged with the audience to such a level that you were on everybody's lips, whether it was good or bad, for the season. And that's how the seating goes, from Andy in the center to the most talked about, to the second most talked about, to the third most talked about, to the people who were like wallpaper, right? And unfortunately, on Married to Medicine, we don't get that seating chart at all. It's always Dr. Simone, or Dr. Flip Flop, or Dr. Pancakes, as we like to call her. And then we get Dr. Jackie.
You know, she's Dr. Prude over there. We love Dr. Jackie. She's been consistently Dr. Jackie the entire time. Then if we're doing it by doctors, then how is Heavenly at the end of the fucking couch?
True. You know, there was just one. I remember there being one time. Do you remember, Curbs, when it was at Heavenly and Toya in the first seats? It was that one reunion where Buffy came out. That reunion actually made sense because it was when they were. I think the set was Toya's closet or something.
Oh yeah.
And that one
That
made
was a
sense.
good season. Oh, I might go back and watch that season. That was a good season.
Yeah, I think that was Mariah's last season too.
You know what I went back and rewatched to give context to how much of a Dr. G is for calling the Popo on Quad's 15 times a day Adonis belt.
Mm-hmm.
I said a lot of words to describe him, huh? Because I went back to season 6 reunion when her and Dr. G have the one-on-one and the things that she said she endured at his hand.
Oh yeah, when she said she said to him, "You dragged me across the floor."
Yes. And he
like,
literally was like, well, it was almost like how he said the other day. Because did you see the excuse he gave for talking about your girl like that? Because I know you love sweet and sour. I was out a sweet tea. I know you love sweet tea. But the way he blamed it on a bad day at the office for her poking her with his 2 times board, berating her, yelling at her verbally, emotionally, and physically abusing her, in my alleged opinion, is what I witnessed on that screen. And the stonewalling, the gaslighting, the narcissism, like for him to be a shrink and do all of these mental maneuvers on her on camera with 8 other men around to the point where Cecil had to like separate them.
Yeah, I said that in my recap because I'm Team Sweet Tea, and I guess by extension, I'm with Dr. G. But in this situation, I thought that was so inappropriate. Listen, don't ever scream at your wife in public. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, how can you not be aware of where you are and what you're doing?
Right.
And
like as a man, Emmanuel, there is self-control hard for you? Like, or is it just something that's instilled in you from seeing your dad and your uncles and your brother maybe, like, or just as a man, is it hard to like temper that? Because Dr. G has no problem immediately responding negatively to women. And now for him to be calling the police when a man took up for the woman what do you feel about that? Just as that's not mannish, right? Like
no, it's not. He shouldn't have done what he did to Sweet Tea at all. It made him look weak, like a weak, like a weak, abusive man. Sorry to say it, but that's what it made him look like.
Yeah. I felt so sorry for her. She looked really bad in that video she did the other day. She looked so, she was rocking.
That too. Yeah.
It was sad.
I think it might be best for her to not come back next season.
I agree. And I agree. But also, I kind of now am like, well, if he does that with cameras around, then that wasn't as bad as what she gets when no cameras are around. And what will happen to her if we don't get to see her?
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. You're right with that too.
Because doing that on TV and not taking any accountability in that not apology he just did with her, he literally said it was because he decided to quit a job. After telling us, he started the season talking about, I got enough patience. I don't need Dr. Damon's patience. Remember? And now he's all, oh, I had to quit because the patients weren't getting the right proper care. And that's the reason I acted that way that weekend.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? Oh my
It's
God.
so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't think Bravo should let him continue to have this platform. I don't think Bravo should let James Kennedy continue to have this platform. I don't think Bravo should indulge known abusers anymore. I feel like once we see it like that, if he was that comfortable in front of the 8th housewife, 8 men, and everybody else like that, I don't think that they should condone that. I don't know.
You know, speaking of James Kennedy, did y'all see Kristen Doty dragged Lisa Vanderpump for defending him yet again?
I saw the defense, but I didn't see the freaking drag. What did she say?
She pretty much said she was tired of LBP sticking up for abusive men and being so male identified. I don't know why she's still defending him.
You know, she defended Jax too. Lisa is just machismo like that. She is that stiff upper lip. The men are in charge, except for her. She's the only woman that gets to be in charge. They can do no wrong. And yeah, it seems to be her MO, because whenever there's some kind of man that needs dealing with,
It's always after she coddles him real good and gets him off her TD.
Wait, that was your Valentine's gift, Krista?
That's what I'm typing it so I don't interrupt you guys. Yeah, he just had it. He put it at the door. I was going to open it.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
And she didn't come in and give it to you?
Who, my husband?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put it at the door. Remember, I kept hearing somebody at the door pushing the door open. Well,
God, it wasn't a ghost. It was George.
Well, I mean, it is the wind too, but yeah, look how cute. He gives me every year. He gives me like one of these little stuffed animal thingies, right?
That is so sweet.
My card says,
I love you guys.
Happy Valentine's Day. Let me see. He's really good. He's a good card picker too. Oh, let's see. My beautiful wife, I love spending life with you. My life with you. Our life together means making the best of each day and claiming our joy no matter what comes our way. It means having each other's backs and always having a hand to hold. It means a soul-deeping feeling and peace and contentment, knowing whatever is going on around us, we're good. Our life together means everything to me, and you're a loving, supportive woman who makes me feel all that way. Happy Valentine's Day with all my love. Love you, baby. Love, George.
Aww.
He's such a good giver too. I'm like, do you really read these? Of course he does. I literally have
so much.
I know, I collect them because he's so cute about it.
So lucky. That's so sweet.
Yeah, he's cute. And my sister just called me. Mimir, she's good. She's in a regular room. So my sister had surgery yesterday. So I just heard from her. So
oh my gosh.
She's yelling because my dad doesn't know how to feed the dogs. Well, she gives them dry food, then she makes them food on this on the stove. And she's like, you got to put cheese. You got to do this. And he's not doing it right. And I'm like, I'm not going there and cooking their food. She's out of her mind. I love them to death. They're like people to me, like her dogs. But she really babies them worse than I do. Kind of what I do with my cats. But she's mad because he won't cook the food for them. I'm like, Shan, I'm not doing that. I'll go there, but I'm not going to cook their food. I love them to death, but I'm not doing that. I don't even do it for my cats. But she had surgery. She had an 8-hour surgery yesterday, but she's good. But they left pins in her leg too. Anybody that knows?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she broke her leg when she was 3, when she was younger. And it grew weird. One was always a little bit longer than the other, so you couldn't tell, but she would always lean on the one side. Well, eventually she started to she fell twice and broke her ankle because of the weight that she was putting on it, I guess. And then this last time, she broke it 3 times in the last couple of years. It healed, and it healed her foot was in a little bit. So it healed a weird way. So they had to re-break it and straighten it out and all that crap. So she's got all kinds of stuff going on. But she sounds good. Thank God. I was all worried because she doesn't take pain medicine. So she's on nerve blockers. So I was worried about her pain and stuff, like how she was going to deal with it. I was afraid that she was going to, want to put meds and stuff. But she said she's good. She's dealing with it with nerve blockers. And then she's in a regular room. And she wants me to go take care of the dogs and make them food. But I said, I'd rather just come visit you. It's only 5 minutes from here. Daddy knows how to feed the dogs. I'm not going to cook them food either. Sorry.
Oh,
she's nuts, dude.
Speaking of surgery, did y'all talk about Teddy Mellencamp yet?
Yes.
Did y'all talk about her being sued?
No. By who?
Oh, y'all didn't hear that?
No, I was talking about her tumors and stuff.
Well, yeah. So that came out,
Yeah.
And then a day later, TMZ releases a lawsuit
What?
against Teddy Mellencamp.
You're kidding me. You are kidding
I
me.
swear. I'm surprised you didn't hear about this.
So she literally is in brain surgery, and they go again.
Well, let me tell you something. She's being sued by her housekeeper for racial discrimination.
I thought TMZ was so okay. Oh.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, you didn't hear about it either, Chris? Oh my God, yes.
No.
She is alleging, the housekeeper, that Teddy was racist, that she was very microaggressive, that she would say racial remarks, and that the housekeeper said she treats blonde white ladies differently than me.
So she has proof, receipts, and timelines?
And that she would mock her Spanish. Like, it's pretty detailed.
I mean, she needs to have some. I mean, at this point, you can allege anything you want, and you know what? It doesn't matter what you know; it's what you can prove in court. So, does she have anything like text messages or like I don't know, recording? Because aren't they usually have he's a surveillance person, right? So they probably have cameras in the house. So they have any like videos of her talking to her like that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something to substantiate what she's saying, or you know what I mean? Don't you have to have basically to go to court? You have to have proof, right? I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like I believe her. Maybe I don't know if I believe her, but I'm trying to believe her. But at this point, you got to give me some proof, receipts, and timelines. You know what I mean? There's got to be video. Did you text anybody about this when it was happening? Were you did you talk to anybody in your family? Like, can you show us that you were having these issues with Teddy and you were telling me? You know what I mean? Like, I feel
bet she did. I would say that usually before most people bring forth a discrimination suit, they have ample evidence to substantiate their feeling of discrimination. Because the only thing you really need to sue for discrimination is a feeling. What you need to win the case is the proof.
Okay,
and how you get the proof is with Esquire Vasquez can tell us that you get the proof by documenting, sending an email, and like you said, telling a friend, and all those places, right?
Did you complain to Teddy? Did she tell her, look, I
well,
don't like how
you guys, listen to this. It says, the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star is being sued by a woman named...
Do you want to share the screen? Or no?
Julia. I have it on my iPad, so...
Okay.
But you can look it up on the TMZ.com. It says she's being sued by a woman named Julia Humana, who claims she worked as a live-in nanny and housekeeper for Teddy. Humana claims Teddy treated her more poorly than any other celebrity boss. In the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Humana claims Teddy made her employment a living hell by abusing power, shortening paychecks, creating a hostile work environment, and engaging in racial discrimination and harassment. She claims Teddy worked her to the bone and treated her worse than other household helpers who were white. She says Teddy accused her of stealing and committing theft, even though there were cameras in the house, and never did the same to a white blonde employee. An immigrant from El Salvador, Humana claims Teddy even mocked her for speaking Spanish and spoke towards her in a nasty tone that she never saw Teddy use with white workers. She claims she finally had enough and told Teddy she was going to resign, but she says Teddy pressured her to work 3 12-hour shifts, only to be paid $325. She claimed about the pay, and after she claimed about the pay, she was fired. The woman claims she was wrongfully terminated and says Teddy owes her unpaid wages, and she's going after Mellencamp for more than $2 million in damages.
Oh God!
Wow.
I'm sorry. Listen. I'm not saying I don't believe her, but she stayed there for a long time. It seems like she was actually taking care of their kids. And why would you, if she thought that way about you, why would she trust you to stay with her kid, like be a nanny to her children, right? Her husband's also not white. You know what I mean? Like Eddie's also Spanish, I think, right, or something.
But he did marry her, so
all these things can be true, right? But like maybe her perception might be of what she thinks. She might feel that way, maybe. But like she said, there's cameras and stuff, right? He's also somebody who leaves, like he stalls that shit for a living. I'm sure maybe she's got some text messages. Like I would, if I were her, I would want to prove that Teddy did all this stuff if she really did. I wouldn't want anyone to take
Edwin comes out as her freaking surprise witness and is like, yeah, I didn't really like that shit either.
Right? Okay, wait, I kept all the videos because he's the guy. He's the one that installs everything. Eddie, could you imagine?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So maybe he has all. Maybe I don't know. This whole thing probably threw a wrench in whatever that was happening. But I guess this lady has no grace for Teddy at this point. I mean, you must really hate somebody to do this while they're going through brain surgery and having like their head shaved. It's really sad what Teddy's going through. Like at this point, that's the last thing I'd be worried about is somebody's. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. But like at this point, you're going to need to show me proof, receipts, and timelines. Other than that, I got to take care of my tumors.
The suit is so she just went into surgery today. We found out about the surgery yesterday. The melanoma happened in what 2022 or something like that. They said or 23. But the suit. When did the suit happen, Manny? Last week? Earlier this week?
Right. Well, that's the important part. It doesn't say when the suit was filed, but this was published yesterday.
TMZ.
TMZ said that they're
awful.
They were up. So we don't know. Maybe the suit might have been filed before the surgery.
Maybe yeah. True. I mean, let's get that girl that does the metadata. The metadata from
we need to call Lisa Barlow and have the full package run and go the distance.
Yeah, we need to get a distance on this one. No, look, I think I'm really I really feel like I am a little jaded by this whole with Baldoni with Amber Heard. It's really hard to I really feel like we need to actually, it's a shame because maybe the people that were lying about stuff like this, it makes us not believe people anymore. And it's you have to really show the proof, receipts, and timelines. And it's you're an asshole if you don't believe the people. But it's I don't know. And then you got to look about the other person. It's not fair for somebody else to not ruin somebody else's life just because you don't want to be fired. If she just might be a disgruntled employee. Now there's other employees there that'll substantiate what she said. She said she did it in front of people, right? She worked there for a long time. She decided to stay. You have self-sovereignty. You don't have to stay. She didn't force her. It's not like Teddy tied her up and said, you must work for me. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you could have left. But, I mean, Teddy, maybe I don't know. I don't feel like she's I don't know. Maybe they just didn't get along, which is weird. Why would you stay and work and be somebody's nanny and take care of their children? I think if she
I was thinking about on that movie The Help. Did you guys ever see that movie The Help?
Yeah.
And so that lady did not interact with Viola Davis's character well at all, but left Viola with her child all the time.
Oh, you're so right.
But she did not check for Viola at all. So there is a way for you to leave kids around people you might not necessarily like.
That's crazy.
They had Black women raising the kids, even though they didn't.
A lot, and then you hear a lot of people say that they were raised by their nanny, that's their mom. I've heard that a couple of times, through Hollywood. It's no, my nanny was my mom, basically. Tori Spelling said that. Somebody else said that. The creator of Star Trek, his son too, he said the same thing. But I mean, a person's basically you're raising you when you're a child. It's you know what I mean? It's what your mom does, when you're a baby. So that would feel like your mom to me, but I don't know, whatever her kids are so freaking young. I can't even believe she has a 4-year-old that I forgot that she had. And she has to go through this. Imagine being,
oh darn. I didn't, a 4-year-old. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're right.
Dove. Her name's Dove. Yeah.
Bless her heart.
8, 5, and 12 or 8, 4, and 12. And the last thing I'd be worried about is this argument I had with somebody at work that I worked for. I don't know. I mean, the lady has her a right to her feelings, but I would have to make sure that I saw some proof at this point, or just please leave me alone. I got tumors to worry about. Leave me alone with your shit until I'm done.
But if it is true that she was falsely accusing her of theft, and
I mean, then why didn't she tell did she tell anybody before? When did this happen? I would not work for somebody that did that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People do shame.
I would knock you to fuck. If you accuse me of something I didn't do, trust and believe I will kill you. I'm not going to. You only got to tell me once. You know what I mean? You only got to tell me one fucking time, and I'm out. I will not come back. You. Seriously, I literally had people have lost things in my house and then blamed me for stealing them. Then you are never coming back to my house, sir. You can't be that reckless in my house and then blame me for it when you know. And then if you just accuse me of stealing, that's it. You only got to say it to me once. That's it. Fuck you. You're not going to get the chance to do it to me again. Why would I hand you the gun to shoot me with? I already hear it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hand you the gun to shoot me with again. And the lady seems like she just kept handing Teddy the gun, I guess. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You steal the gun the first time you shoot me, that's on you. But I'm not going to hand it to you after that. Like Dorit, you know what I mean? She's not handing Kyle the gun to shoot her with anymore. So that lady should have just literally, I don't know. Like
Do you think, Manny, were you up here when we were talking about Bose? No, huh?
No, yeah,
Do you like Bose and Dorito's relationship?
Me too.
Okay, unpopular opinion. I love it.
I do too. I think
I love their friendship from the first episode. You guys, from the first episode when they met at that surrealist party, and Dorit is just talking to her about how her husband's an alcoholic or whatever. I felt such a connection between them. And now, like, when Bose went on Watch What Happens Live, Dorit was with her. She spent the birthday with her. And did you see that picture? Bose was with all her personal friends, and Dorit was there too. I've seen the after show. And I don't know, maybe I'm just gullible, but
I like
believe it. And you guys remember the
why wouldn't we believe it though? Boss seems like a decent.
A lot of people don't believe it on social media. They think this is like Dorit. I don't know. You guys know Angie and Mary Cosby's friendship. Remember how they were talking about how
I love that.
How there are certain type of friendships that like change your view on life, friendship, whatever. I think that might be like this.
Yes, Mary too.
But here's the thing: I don't want Bose and Garcelle to go at it, because we saw in that preview. Garcelle says to her, "Don't be her spokesperson or whatever." So I hope that doesn't.
She's just being problems. Garcelle knows that Dorit deserves to have somebody on her. Like, you know what I mean? Garcelle's just being messy and jealous and stupid. Like, I feel like they need to embrace. Like, I'm embracing that friendship because Dorit doesn't have a friend on the show like that. You know what I mean? And Rose is just coming in there. She's only going by her perception of what she sees at that time. Now, you know what I mean? So it's not like she's doing it to not be friends with everybody else. She's just being friends with Teddy. I just called her Teddy.
Exactly. But you know what? It's interesting that would be something coming from Garcelle, who people feel like she intervenes for Sutton. So they both are intervening for their best Sallies.
Yes, she's there.
Right. And it would be very unfortunate if, the rift between Garcelle and Bose was about who's the better side character to,
They shouldn't even have a rift. What are they fighting about? They're both logical humans. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to be honest with y'all. And I know this is an unpopular opinion too. I'm not a Sutton fan. I'm not. Now, don't get me wrong. I really appreciated her these past 2 episodes. I thought it was very emotional and very real. But I don't really like Sutton.
Just a lot, like 2 things can be true. I see what you mean. Like,
I could be very mean, I feel like.
And she's just like her mom. That's why I think they were so disconnected about how they felt about things. But I see what you mean. She gets very messy with Dorit. She gets mean.
Like, do you remember when Dorit was talking about what her kids said to her, and then Sutton was like, "Okay, anyway, we gotta go."
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt.
So weird.
She's like, "We need this to be a happy time. We got to get like." And it's like, "Geez, all right."
She was taking up for Garcelle's moment. Like, she's like, "Look, you trying to bring all this in here, and we trying to go have fun at my friend's house." And she's the first time, So I kind of feel like I was torn on that, but it was totally like one of Sutton's little quirks. Like, she's just like, "Okay, you can talk about this on the train." Isn't that really what she was saying?
But see, they could have edited it. Dorit could have been going on for way longer than what we saw. You know what I mean? Because she's like me. She can go on and on. Maybe she was going a lot longer. We didn't see that part yet. That's the only thing I can think of.
Let me tell you something. She's like, what? Bose does not like Sutton at all. If y'all watched the after show?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it this week.
She said that.
Yeah, she does not like
pick up a green or red flag if she had to save her life.
Ooh, I didn't see this. I didn't see the only time I didn't watch the after show this time. Oh my God. Can you see I'm getting upset? I'm curling my hair. I'm getting like nervous. Like, Sutton always does the roller.
What do you think about Erica this season?
I wave the white flag. I wave the white flag because I don't want to arguing about her anymore. I'm enjoying the fake Erica she's being. If it's fake, I'm enjoying who she is. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's still in trouble.
She does seem a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
A little bit more at peace, but
she's got a lot coming to her. Like, it sucks. She really does. they're going to go after her criminally. She's definitely allegedly dating Tommy's dad, which is fine. I mean, which is kind of like, I kind of never thought of it that way, but why wouldn't she date that guy? Like the guy that's her son's father. He's a big shot in Vegas, and she's visibly been effing him this whole time. And he helps with this. And I think they funneled money through him. I think other Tom was in on it. And then I think that the cliff thing was I have a whole theory about why he was at the bottom of the cliff for so long and why he didn't get any help. I feel like he was the only one.
To let him die? Were they trying to let him die for stuff?
Yeah, he's the only one that could say that they've been funneling money through me this entire time. Why not? Tom's the only one that can tell him, Tom and to Erica. You know what I mean? It was just odd. He was at the you don't tell somebody he's 85 years old at the bottom of the cliff for 18 hours. You know, he's 110 years old and he was unconscious for 48 hours, and you don't tell the police, you don't tell anybody. Where's the
that's weird.
Like, why? She probably said she probably wanted him to just listen. He probably fucked her really bad. Like, you know what I mean? He probably promised her that he was always going to pay these people. She probably was under the guise that these people were always going to get paid or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to excuse her behavior. It's crazy. But I do feel like her and Tom, she would not care if why wouldn't she get him help? He was unconscious. You know what I mean? And then her son, he like flips a fucking car in like the biggest snowstorm in Pasadena, the great snowstorm of 2017, in Pasadena snowstorm, apparently, allegedly.
He rolled his car 7 times.
Yeah, 17 times or some shit, like the biggest Pasadena snowstorm ever. And it's like, why did you? And then he's on the ASAP Rocky. He's like everywhere. This dude. I honestly thought he didn't have a job anymore. I thought that like nobody talks about him, and here he is, captain or sergeant. He's like, yeah. I was like, damn. And he's cute, right? But I do feel like Erica, I don't know why, if she is still screwing Tom, ex Tom, why not say it? It would be, I mean, that would be kind of like, who else would she be with? If anybody, it would probably be her ex-husband, who she's probably been screwing this whole time. And he's a big shot in Vegas. That's how she got all her little breaks. And I do feel like the money was funneled through him. And I think Tom Sr. knew that. I keep saying Tom Sr., but Tom Girardi. But he went and, got whatever happened to him. He got I don't know, whatever happened to him. And then he's like, and then he just loses it. And they're like, fuck, now he can tell on us, which he did. You know what I mean? So I think that the bottom of the cliff, it would probably be better for them if she didn't get him help.
You know what? I kind of feel bad for her when she said that she's never been in love in her entire life.
Oh my God.
That's so weird to say when you've been married to somebody, 2 people, right? I don't know if she feels, I don't think she feels that. I said this a long time ago. We've never seen her get emotional about anything. She's
personal. Reba. She's like Reba.
Yeah. Worse. No, I think Erica feels like it's a waste. It's overplayed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she has emotions. I think that I don't think she's ever showed any emotion about Christmas or birthdays or family, or you never hear her go, oh, my kid. You know what I mean? Like how, like Kyle's always crying about her life and how she loves it. And like, you never hear Erica get emotional about anything. You never say, I'm going to Christmas at my dad's or my mom's and I'm so excited about it. Or like my son's birthdays today. You know what I mean? She doesn't have any real emotion. You don't get anything out of her. And I don't think that she's capable, but I think she's trying maybe. I
feel like Erica is a dominatrix all the time.
Yeah, she gets no emotion. Yeah, she can be a good one because she doesn't get attached. Honestly. Right. And I feel like
my computer's gonna die. I love you. If my computer dies, that's why I dropped. It's not you.
It's been 3 hours.
I love when they took her to Chuck E. Cheese though. That was funny.
Emmanuel, wait, Palaver, I didn't read it. Sorry. Wait, Palaver's lying. She's losing it.
On the after show, everyone said she was talking. Okay.
Okay, she was talking for 4 minutes. Is that what they said? I just guessed that, but I was assuming because
they could have kept on talking on the tram like always, right? Like she was trying to get her moment in.
I have
it was the first time
I have some tea. So Psy did a radio show yesterday with Jeff Lewis
and Uba.
Oh, Uba was there too. Okay, I guess I just saw the clip with Psy. He asks her about a comment that Bryn made at the reunion. Because remember, Bryn says to Psy at the reunion, I missed you. I missed the kids so much. And Psy pretty much said that Bryn has seen those kids like twice in her life and that her kids couldn't even name who the hell Bryn was.
Who does that sound
like? Lies.
Who does that sound like? Jen Shah with Meredith's kids. Jen Shah was like, oh, they're like my kids. And their kids never even met her. And she showed, remember? It was like episode 1 or 2 of Salt Lake. And She said the same thing. She's like, oh, Meredith's kids are like my kids with Jen Shah, and we meet them, and she's doing leg kicks, and the kids were like, who is this lady? She acted like the same thing, that she was so close with Meredith's kids. So weird. That's weird. She probably, and you said she
Bryn is a pathological liar anyway.
Jen Shah.
But also, Manny, I thought I sent it to you. Sai addressed, she had a Q&A. Her and Uba both did Q&As on their IG page. And somebody asked her, why did you apologize? Why did you hug old girl, Bryn?
Oh, yeah.
And she said she was like just hugging her over the assault, but that she's not forgiven her, like, for the bullshit or anything.
Okay.
And it's not a pass on the bullshit. It was only about the SA stuff.
Okay, good. I'm glad she clarified that, because I too was a little taken aback. I was like, really, Sai? You too? But that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
but
I didn't like
the interview is with Jeff Lewis. And so, Krista, I don't think Jeff Lewis got canceled, or maybe he went to a different place, because that's where the interview is with Sai and Uba from New York is with Jeff Lewis yesterday, I thought.
Maybe I don't know if it's coming up or like, I don't know. I have to find out. My computer's going crazy again. I have to find out why, who I heard that from. They said that basically it was all, oh my God, what is going on with this fucking computer? Basically that they weren't going to do audio anymore. He didn't get canceled completely. It was just no.
Seeing lots of clickbait. I've been seeing lots of clickbait lately. I've been seeing like Quad and Heavenly are fired and just like some clickbaity stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think it was,
I gotta go, but this was fun talking to y'all for a little bit. I can't wait for next week. And are y'all gonna watch that new show with Shannon and Giselle and Ashley and Luann?
Is that the one that they did the dating show?
Yeah, they released a little teaser today.
Oh, I'll tell you.
So that's coming out. RHOBH's coming out. The Valley's coming back.
And Vanderpump is getting a remix, right?
Yes.
Tom Sandoval is doing good on The Traitors, by the way. It was hilarious. I'll send you, there's a clip in my stories about Tom Sandoval. Last night's mission was hilarious. Oh my God.
I almost passed out last night watching that.
Somebody told me.
Yes.
It was so funny.
And the way he was holding his ear, Emmanuel, it was hilarious. He was so serious.
It was.
Sam,
oh my God.
Sam Asghari was on Nick Vile Files, and he said that all Sandoval did was sweat the whole time. I haven't watched anything. I would have to start watching it.
Yeah, he is very sweaty. Yeah, he had dark marks on all his shirts that you could see.
Yeah, Sam was weird.
I'm surprised nobody thought he was a traitor. All that damn sweating.
I mean, I still have to watch it, but when I was listening to Sam Asghari talking about Brittany and Sandoval, he actually was really, really respectful. Believe it or not, I kind of don't even know if I believe anything he says. I think he was paid to be with her, but he was very respectful. But I didn't
last night he said he had a faux pas. He said everybody knows women cheat more than men. They were like, "Did you just say that?" Everybody, all the men and women, collectively turned to him at the table and said, "Did you just say that, bro?"
Or Sandoval.
Sandoval said it.
Oh God, he's got.
But he meant to say women can be better traitors. And then he cleaned it up. But they were like, vote him out. But they didn't even vote him out. They ended up voting Sierra off. I think Sierra's from the Summer House. They have so many Bravo celebrities on here.
I know. I heard. What's the name? Oh, Robin got kicked off first, right? Loser.
No,
Robin.
not first. It was who was first? Was it Chanel was second or first? Chanel was second.
Oh wow.
Robin was like third. They were just doing housewife after housewife after housewife. The only housewife left is Dolores right now.
So the people watching know who the faithfuls and the traitors are, right?
We know. Yeah, okay. The viewers. We know.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know how it works, but I want to start watching it because I'm obsessed.
And I don't know. I'm feeling like everybody's like Danielle's a horrible traitor. I'm like, she's been kind of flying under the radar. I feel like Caroline is a betrayer traitor, but she got nipped first. But no, her and Rob went against Danielle first, and Danielle doesn't even know that part for this bitch to have her panties in such a bunch about Danielle trying to make an alliance with somebody. She doesn't even know for a fact. Watch when she watches the season back. I hope they address it at the reunion because that was dirty. But yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they be having reunions, girl.
dude, everybody's so I know I can't believe I have not watched it yet. Ever since I
Oh,
got rid
you
of
have
cable,
to.
like
It's
I got rid of
hilarious. It's
yeah,
good. It's good. You'll love it. I mean, well, it's
right, people,
quirky. They have a couple of escapades. It's about, positioning in the house. It's cute. And then Alan has the MC, the host guy. He has fabulous outfits all the time. Yeah, it's good. I love you, Krista Marie. Happy Love Day. I hope you have an excellent evening with your beau. I have this card game I'm going to play with husband later. I told him all we need is a bottle of some pink Moscato. And I'm going to lock the door and the kids can just be in the outside of the house. And we were locking the door around 5 o'clock today. And I have a game for us to play. It's a lover's game. And we'll be listening to music and having some Moscato. And I mean, but this is like Fridays all the time for us. But,
we always celebrate. We're
locking the
old.
door at 5:30 is a special holiday event, you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back at 5:20. I think, and do the pop culture stuff.
Okay, right on. I have my bell rung for you.
All right, guys. Everybody comment, subscribe. I'll be back. I was going to put the link in here, but I have to do the thumbnail still. But I will put it out in a little bit. Same thing.
Okay.
What the latest is, whatever it is. So,
Peace.
Love ya. Bye.
Love you too. Au revoir.
Bye. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around for 3 hours. I appreciate everybody. Seriously. I love when we all have this discussion. But yeah, my sister said she's cool. I'm just going to do the afternoon show and then go see her after that. But I'll be back in an hour. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Baldoni and whatever's going on because I've got almost 25,000 subscribers. Well, almost 3,000 subscribers since I started. I'm not doing it because of that. I love talking about it, but I definitely feel like I should keep up my good work. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. I'll be back in an hour or so. I will send the link out. And then, yeah, I'll see you all then. Please come back. Whatever's going on pop culture. I do want to talk a little bit about what Sam said, if anybody even cares. It's about Brittany. And this stuff that's going on with Wendy, too. Holy crap, guys. She doesn't deserve to be up there in that place. We got to talk. All right, we'll be back. I love y'all. Pop culture news in an hour.